Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix. Today, we're going to be showcasing some Pokemon. Before we get into it, just a few quick reminders for you. GDQ 2025 will be live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from January 5th through 12th. Registration and hotel booking are now open. You can visit GamesDoneQuick.com and check the GDQ 2025 important dates section to learn more. Also, Games Done Quick will be holding a weekend marathon from October 11th through 13th, that's starting tomorrow, in support of those that have been affected by the recent hurricanes. You can stay tuned starting at 6 p.m. Eastern this Friday to support direct relief. You can use exclamation DRDQ in Twitch chat to look at the schedule. And UBAF will be returning as GDQ's first Black charity event, Back to Black, which will be live February 7th through 9th. Run submissions are open now through November 5th. You can go to GamesDoneQuick.com for more info. With all of that said, we've got some Pokemon for you tonight. I will hand it over to our runner commentary, let everybody introduce themselves.
Thank you so much, Church. Hey, everybody. I'm T-Pat. I just want to replicate the statement for this upcoming weekend. The direct relief Duns Quick Marathon is going to be amazing, and obviously that's something that's very close to my heart as a meteorologist, so make sure to tune into that as well. But yeah, we have Pokemon Violet for you today. This is not the first DLC, but the second DLC category that I'll be running, and I'll quickly hand it over to my commentators to introduce themselves.
Oh, me? Okay. Hi, my name is Chrysosaurus. I am currently doing this at midnight, which is probably a big mistake on my part, but this is the category that I treat it as like my baby because I actually made the entire route for this, so I'm pretty much the knowledgeable one here.
I helped.
I'm Shen. I run Catch 'em All in this game, which vaguely does this category.
There's a little dabbling. And then the last thing, before we get started, you might notice something weird. Yes, the timer is not incorrect. It does, in fact, say 7 hours, 8 minutes, and 3 seconds. And that is because this is actually the continuation of an Indigo Disk run that I started on my own channel earlier this week. We are now finishing this on the GDQ Hotfix channel. That is because it's normally a 9-hour run, and I'm not sure the last time that GDQ allowed me to do a 9-hour run. I think the answer was never. So enjoy the next 2 hours of the relevant portion of the Indigo Disk category. And with that being said, we are going to get started in 3, 2, 1, go!
You can also play the video of the first 2/3 of the run at like 2.5 speed if you want to watch the entire run right now. So it could be kind of like the Subway Surfers. You can just put it on the side of your screen, get your little bit of like
your civvies. The past may catch up to the current me. In fact, it might even finish at the same time as I finish. And and you know what? This is a race. Past me at 2.5 speed, current me at current live speed.
It'd probably be pretty close. I don't know how the timing lines up,
but to give a bit more of an explanation, to answer the question of how exactly we got here, or just to explain what happened the last 7 hours if you don't want to watch the video, essentially what we did was we got our main Pokemon and our starter Flamigo. We beat all the gym leaders. We did all the Starfall-based things. We beat up all the Titans and got their abilities. We also did the entirety of the Teal Mask portion of the DLC. So if you've seen T-Pat's run GDQ of the Teal Mask, think that, except replace Medicham, 42 Medicham for 89 Flamigo. No, that is not a mistake. Right. It is level 89. And then we did the entirety of Area Zero and beat the main game. So at this point, we've beaten the main game and the Teal Mask DLC. I'll probably go a little bit more over in specific details on what order we did it a bit later. Essentially, the fact there is a good amount of downtime in this run, so we can discuss over that. But right now, we are now entering what we call the Indigo, the Blueberry Academy. Yeah.
Status of Ogerpon, right?
Yeah, status on Ogerpon. I need to know.
So Ogerpon is saved because, as we found out at SGDQ 2024, we had to save the Ogerpon. I do have the Ogerpon saved in this file, the reason of which I will not be revealing today, but instead be revealing on Saturday, because I'm also running this category for Direct Relief Done Quick, which you should watch at Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and Ogerpon may or may not make an appearance, but that may or may not depend on the donations that we receive during that. So that just tabled the Ogerpon discussion for this Saturday. I promise I have a plan.
That's good to hear.
But
Yeah.
for those who actually want to know,
but yeah,
the fastest strat is to not use is actually to release Ogerpon and not have it in your party.
but that's no fun.
That's also true. It
I'm
also
here-
doesn't affect this part of the category. That only affects the stuff that you're watching in 2.5 speed. So it's only going to lose like a quarter of the time it would normally lose because they're watching in 2.5 speed. You're barely going to notice the time loss.
Yeah.
It tracks.
So, go ahead.
No, I was just that tracks.
Yeah, math tracks.
Yeah,
So
something like
anyways,
that.
we are in the second DLC area, which is the Blueberry Academy. This is technically an extension of the Unova region. Obviously, if you played Scarlet and Violet, we're in Paldea, where you're in one of the academies there. Well, this is just a different academy since Pokemon is really
not to
into,
interrupt you, T-Pat,
stay in
did
school
I see
kids.
you change Pokemon in your box?
Oh, yeah, that's,
I realize that there's a fight
He's
right
one
here,
of my
right?
favorite Pokemon of all time. I don't know about you, but I thought we would just kind of ease ourselves in to a double battle in which up to this point, we have
But they're
only
level
seen
3
double
and
battles
level 30.
once, which is against Rhyme. And Rhyme was like, that was like her whole deal was, I'm the double battles gym. Well,
no.
in the Blueberry Academy, every single battle is a double battle.
Oh, no, you
every
lost. Oh, no,
random
the crit
trainer-
combo.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I did get crit. Oh, no. Well, at least Lacey here is not like Hop and will actually like tell you about when she crits. It still only works the other way around.
By the way, this is a fight.
I
that we
always forget
absolutely
when
lose
we're
on
doing
purpose.
those bits. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Man.
I mean, oh, no. I lost. But I will say that won't be the last time we see Lechonk. Wink, wink. But we won't lose those battles. So
Yeah, this is the
we'll
last
see
fight
what
we actually
interesting
lose.
stuff we can come up with.
It's still very funny to me that 7 hours into a speedrun, we still lose purposely to a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can lose time on that battle because I think the Plusle can use Helping Hand because the Minun always uses Discharge, and it's just like, wow, extra time loss.
Yeah, welcome to the world of move animations turn on, which is a normal experience if you play Colosseum and Next to Gale of Darkness, but not.
Damn it, whatever.
But if you play any other Pokemon game, then we're gonna have to take move animations into somewhat of a consideration. I say somewhat because in this category, let's just say that some of the Pokemon that we're fighting are very, very high level, so we just have to use the most powerful move.
I like the dynamic. At least.
I
It's
grunted just
interesting.
for a second there because I wanted to optimally order my box, but it's not like a big deal. But just to recap, like we said, this really takes place after the main game and after the first DLC. So my Flamigo is currently level 92, which is why this 2-hour section is not an official single story category. So unlike the Teal Mask, where we can start at the school and then just do the Teal Mask storyline, we actually can't do that with the second DLC because its storyline is a direct sequel to both the main story and the first DLC's storyline. We'll find out that Kieran is actually the champion of the school now, and obviously that wouldn't make
spoilers.
sense. No, listen, if you're here, you're gonna get spoilers anyways.
You're watching
I'm
a
just-
speedrun expecting
there's
not to
no-
get spoiled? Come on.
We're not, oh, yeah, exactly. Kieran's champion. Oh no, spoilers. But it wouldn't make sense to come here and have Kieran be champion and mad at us if we never did the whole first DLC section with him anyways.
I do want
So
to
that's
say
why this ends
Sorry.
up being a 9-hour-long category, because we have to do all the other things first in order to even get access to this storyline. You can come here, but you get no storyline if you come to the DLC area immediately.
Well, that's not quite true. You can do the first bit, which is the thing that we're going to do now, which is to catch a certain Pokemon.
the
which we'll get
Alolan
into.
Pokemon.
Yeah, certain Alolan Pokemon. But but that's as much as you can do. You can actually come here as early as beating Kieran 1 in the, well, I say beating, technically losing to Kieran 1
You can beat him.
in the speed run. But
If you
once
beat him, it only
don't-
advances the storyline that he's mad at us.
Well, he's
Yeah.
even more mad because he keeps
I
losing
think,
on purpose.
I think our record against Kieran is like 4-1 right now, but we intentionally lose to him once, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah. And he knows that we kind of threw it easy on him.
Yeah. So, but like the cool thing about this category, and I'll be honest, like this is actually my favorite part of speedrunning Scarlet and Violet out of any category, or at least this 2-hour section, because the double battles make it super, super interesting, which is something that Scarlet and Violet tends to not really have, which is interesting battles, but it still has the same Scarlet Violet flavor, which means we're going to run around the region. We're still going to pick up some experience candies. We're going to get all of our warp points first, and then we're going to use that investment to further, like our levels. But in this case, the experience candies are not going to go towards Flamigo because it's already level 92. And spoiler alert, we actually end up at level 98 when this is all done. We will use the experience candies on something else. I'm going to avoid that tree because that one's notorious for encounters.
I'm also going to keep a track to make sure that T-Pat actually gets all of his items because he has been known to missing a few EXP candies at some point.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah,
I'll give him a
that
grade later
guy.
as to the thing.
These segments are always interesting because you know where all the items you need are, and you kind of know your final destination. You really have to route like creatively how you get to that point. It's always really awkward in these gigantic maps that we have in Scarlet Violet.
And
Thankfully,
missing one
Cerebi,
candy is so easy to do when you have like 20 to pick up. And then
Yeah,
you don't notice until you open your menu and you're just like, why am I a medium short?
yeah. I want to thank Cerebi.net for actually having a map on day one with every single item on the screen. That made my life of routing every single candy that we need so much easier.
So
And also,
we have gotten our first assignment. We have homework. Our homework
Yes.
is to catch an Alolan Pokemon, of which
Now-
there are many. So that is
there is
a
one that we're gonna get
requirement for the plot is to catch an Alolan Pokemon.
So, Jen, I have a question for you.
Sure.
What is the Pokemon that's primarily used in Black 2 and White 2 speedrunning?
Are we spoiling this already?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. Yes, because
okay.
it's going to happen
There were
very
two
soon.
words
So what's
applied
like that Pokemon called? Is it, I believe it's Excadrill, am I not wrong?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Oh, hey, we use that in Shield too.
Yeah, Shield uses it too.
Yeah, well, we're not using Excadrill. We're using Excadrill at home.
Hey, look, there's an Alolan Dugtrio just sitting here on the beach. And this one's nice because we get a free backstrike because it does not move around. But this is still not a guaranteed catch. This is 73%. And it broke out.
Nice.
As I said. I will throw an Ultra Ball at it. If this does not get in, I will disengage and then re-backstrike it.
You could wing attack Ultra Ball it probably.
Oh!
No way that it's a wing attack. Do it.
I love that I got the
It
three.
probably is not
By the way,
worth
it can't
it.
Risk
damage
it
us.
all.
It literally only has ground moves, so
Yeah. But thankfully, this is the easiest Pokemon to reset the backstrike. All you have to do is despawn it, and then respawn it back, and it will respawn in the same direction. And you can just throw it again. Very free.
Yeah, it is important that you do physically despawn it, otherwise you don't get the backstrike like bonus to it.
The 70% chance to get in, roughly. It's the worst catch in the game.
Nice.
Yeah, this is unfortunately the absolute worst catch in the game. And
You know what?
unfortunately,
I'm gonna take. I'm gonna
Oh,
take
you don't have
Shen's.
wing attack though.
don't kill it.
I said wing attack.
We don't have wing
I don't
attack.
know where I don't know where I last saved, but I have autosave on, so
Okay, thank goodness. That means you should be
Yeah.
auto-saving next to it. Do not acrobatics to Dugtrio. It has no defenses. Literally.
Yeah,
It's actually
Acro
one of the
definitely
reasons
too
why we
strong.
catch it as well.
See, this is why I put such a generous estimate, Crisis, because my hotfix runs are always cursed. I can't tell you the last time I've had a not cursed hotfix run.
Sorry, I forgot we teach over wing attack for the last bit
Yeah,
of any
we
percent.
don't
In
have
Catch 'em
to-
All, we keep wing attack to damage things like this.
Yeah,
So
in this
I
category, we
thought we
don't
had
keep
it.
wing. We delete wing attack just before fighting the Paldean Elite Four.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's saved as I failed the first catch.
Yeah, that's where autosave normally saves if you catch a Pokemon. So this is a 70% chance to get in, by the way.
Very classic, honestly.
And we do need to keep
You're not
one more
adamant
quick
anymore,
ball.
are you?
Bruh!
Classic.
I'm still gonna throw the Ultra Ball at it, but I'll reset again if it doesn't get in. Like I have to keep the last quick ball.
You can
because
buy
we
more,
have to
it's
catch
fine.
one more. Of course, I get in the Ultra Ball. Fine, game.
There you go. The Ultra Ball's
By the way,
37%.
53%.
It's so reasonable.
But yeah, you also might notice that we also have a Halucha in our party. That is going to be very useful for later.
That's for many percents.
If you remember, and if you've actually seen a run of any percent, Halucha has... So we had a choice between catching a Cypher or Halucha for any percent, mainly because we need an acrobatic spammer for the fight. We still do need that for this for the any percent portion, but Halucha has to be caught specifically thanks to one move it has and for one fight.
All right, and we are going to hand in our homework. I never liked doing homework anyways. I always like, finishing in class before it was even homework to begin with. I don't know about you. It's just like, if you give me 20 math problems, I'm finishing those 20 math problems before the bell rings.
It was 17% to live acro, by the way.
So,
Mineral did not kill.
That was worth it. Whatever.
So now we're going to get into a little bit more of an interesting section. So we now have kind of tasks that we have to do called Blueberry Quests, which allows us to get us...
BBQs, yes, they're my favorites.
I'm stepping away during this. I don't want to think about these things ever again.
Yeah,
how many of these did you have to do,
you have to get like, what, 10,000
Oh, it's horrible. You need 12k for catching
in this
all.
category, thankfully, we only need to get 100 total. That's it. And which is equivalent to about 4 tasks. Now, how these tasks works are very interesting because the first 3 tasks that we get are always the same. It's always going to be catch a Pokemon. It's always going to be defeat 10 Pokemon with auto battles, which is the slow one. We don't want to do that. And what T-Pad is doing, taking a picture of a Pokemon.
Easy.
He's then going to get
I got the good one. I got sneak up on a Pokemon, which is exactly what I'm going to do here.
Nice.
Because we're going to ignore the next barbecue task because I'm always going to catch this Meowstic.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're always going to catch this Meowstic.
The reason for this will be known later. We'll explain
It is very much
later.
a useful support Pokemon. And thankfully, there's a Meowstic that always spawns here. Guaranteed at 61. And
it's mentioned why this was so good.
Because this medium candy is the one that I almost always forget if I forget to look at it.
So,
it's important that I look at my tasks here. Hold on. Swimming and TM. Not great, but the swimming is fine, actually. Because another swimming Pokemon is worth 30 BP versus all the other tasks, which are only worth 20. So actually doing 2 swimming Pokemon tasks basically saves an extra task here.
Yes,
and I should already
swimming
have
is the
70.
best thing you could have gotten, but we will worry about it. There's other tasks that can show up, but one of the mechanics in this thing is the fact that when
70
a task...
BP right now, right? Just confirming, because catch that. Yeah, I'll just do the swimming Pokemon task and be done with it.
So when a task appears, there's a couple of rules that the game follows. One, that same task cannot appear again. Well, if a task is up on your task completion list, that task cannot appear if you complete another task. So the defeat 10 Pokemon with wild battles will always remain there and will never respawn itself. And when a task is complete, it will not replace itself. So if we catch a Pokemon, it will not replace itself with another catch-a Pokemon.
Okay. Sorry, I'm going to focus here. Hold on 1 second. Because a lot is going to happen.
Yeah, so I'll explain this menu. Also, Miraidon.
Yeah, I got it. Yes, I do. I haven't done this menu in a long time.
So while he does this, I will explain the entire menu, basically. So in this menu, we are doing
Mochi.
a lot of interesting things. So we're giving.
Oh, I didn't do the genie. Okay, hold on. Sorry. I need to actually focus here. I just need a little bit of serious time because this menu is just absolutely brutal. I need the genius mochi here. Swift mochi for you. Lucky egg for you. All right, now I will. Oh no! Wait. Something was. Oh yeah, something's backwards here.
All right, that is the menu's done.
Okay, thank you.
You
Yeah,
astute
sorry.
double battles
My
guy.
brain exploded. Something's I think out of order.
You
no,
accidentally
it's not. It's
hit
fine.
Meowstic first, then Halucha. That's why.
That's what it was.
So
Yeah, so that huge menu, breaks my brain. It's almost a full page in my notes, and I have to have it completely memorized.
Yeah, so what that menu does, we're doing very specific things. So first off, we're putting Miraidon second in our party. Miraidon's going to be very useful in this fight. We're also going to give Mochi, which is the equivalent of vitamins. So if you remember those, then it essentially give 10 stat points to each stat. And so we're giving it to specific Pokemon. We're making sure our Duck Trio is fast and, hits harder. We're making sure our Miraidon hits harder for this fight specifically. And we're also making sure that our Meowstic is tanky on the special defensive side. All those will be explained when they come relevant, as well as giving Meowstic Fake Out, which is a very important move, which has a lot of utility. We'll explain all of its utility later.
Yes.
And as well as Halucha giving it Encore, which
Encore.
even though it only has one fight that it's useful for, it is very useful for that fight.
Okay, do remind me, Crisis, where do we even get the mochi in the first place? I honestly don't remember why we have that in our inventory.
We get the Mochi when we finish the Teal Mask.
That's what that is. Yeah, I always forget why we have mochi in the party.
Remember, you are the Tangled Feet strat, so as I'll explain.
Okay, thanks, hold on. As it literally drops an input immediately.
So
our Flamigo, while we are level 92, we're not exactly super over leveled compared to everybody. In fact, the Elite Four in this portion of the game all have Pokemon levels 78 to 80. So we're still above level, but we're not running away with it. So we still have to be quite clever with how we attack and how we set up and etc. And as you saw, everything's a double battle. The idea of the Indigo Disk DLC in the first place was kind of like baby's first VGC, if you will, because obviously VGC is all double battles, but all of the Pokemon and all of the trainers that we're fighting have competitive teams and competitive movesets and competitive items. So you're going to see a lot of sturdy and a lot of focus sash, to be honest here. I have to be careful because I might not be... Okay.
Yeah. To explain this fight a little bit more, so one of the things you may have noticed is the fact that we do have two abilities on this Flamigo. In this case, we are showcasing what happens when you get the wrong ability an hour into the speedrun, which is the Tangled Feet ability. The ability itself does not matter, it's just the fact that we are going to have to deal with Intimidates, which is not good.
Crisis. I'm gonna have to actually you. My Tangled Feet actually did matter because I got Water Pulse confused on the Dundozo about 5-6 hours ago, and I dodged a body slam because of it.
Fine. The one specific niche case. But essentially, to explain, so on turn one, we use Low Kick to get rid of my Nienna, and then we use Electro Drift. No Power Punch is not enough to get the knockout. And then
we tried.
On turn two, we had to use an X attack, which allows us to increase our attack by 2 stages because we got we got a double Intimidate. If we didn't have
two Intimidates on this one battle is ridiculous.
We could do this fight 1 turn faster.
No, I crit Carmine! Already!
All right, welcome to this perfect explanation
I
of
love
what we
that
like
every
to
battle
call
is a hot battle, and every
What we like to
every
call
single
flavor
trainer
text.
will complain about super effective and critical hits.
And it's not just this fight; it is every single fight in the DLC, except one.
It's funny
But
that
we'll talk about that
their
one.
Elite Four does the whole you use super effective on me, but the Paldea Elite Four does not do that. Only the champion does.
Well, to be fair, no one really in Paldea does actually do that, with the exception of Nemona.
Yeah, but Nemona's like our
champion.
rival.
And also AI Sada, but she's pretty much copying all the other trainer data, which apparently includes Leon.
So after that little introduction into the DLC area, we got to obviously meet Carmine again, and now we get to see Kieran with his hair slicked back, as we saw at the to be continued screen at the end of the first DLC. So this is where we learned that Kieran has just like abandoned like all of his moral standards, and he's the champion of this whole league, but he's got like the whole league under his thumb. He was just like bullying this one guy who was just like, man, if you're not taking battling seriously, I guess you don't even have to go to this academy. I'm going to go tell the administrator. And he's like, no, wait. Yeah, but this is like after that first huge section of all the movement we had to do and all the candies we picked up and that gigantic menu. This is like the biggest downtime of the run. This is where like the whole plot dump happens, where we meet the Elite Four. We get explained that like, using BP is good and you should collect all that.
I do want to explain one very quick thing because we're still here in Carmine. You might have noticed that our friend T-Pat used Miraidon during that fight. You might be asking, what is the Scarlet version of the fight? And effectively, it's very much similar, where we kind of use X attacks to help our Flamigo, and as well as using Koraidon's collision course to deal super effective damage. Unfortunately, it does actually make it so that Koraidon is always a 3-turn fight, because we do have to use our Flamigo to hit into the 2 cannon, which will then burn the Flamigo, which then requires us to use a turn to full heal, which is unfortunately just kind of annoying. And also, I found out the other day that Koraidon's ability summons the sun to give it a 30% boost, but if it actually is raining in the arena before the fight starts, Koraidon's ability just doesn't work, so that's fun. Thankfully,
yeah, this is a really down moment. So
fine.
I really want to talk about the Northern Lights that I'm going to go see tonight, because the Aurora Borealis is really going to show out. I've been watching the Space Weather Prediction Center. Right now, the KP index is an 8.3, which is very strong for Northern Lights. So if anybody across Europe or North America has a moment at night to look out their window, let me know if you see the Northern Lights, because immediately after Hotfix, I'm going to go out to like the middle of nowhere, and I'm charging my camera batteries. I'm going to go take some pictures. It looks so sweet. I missed the event on Monday nights, and all my friends like went, and I'm like, I'm so jealous. So now I'm going to like go out for tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I promised I would nerd out today, not just playing Pokemon, but talking about space stuff.
Also,
I saw the Northern Lights back in May when it was just like going crazy, and it's like some of the best pictures I still have on my phone.
Also, T-Pat, just a reminder, you didn't do the take.
I didn't do swimming. Yeah, I'm gonna go by the. I should see something by the water on the way to Amorous.
Okay, that's fine. Normally you do it before just in case, but yeah, you can.
Yeah,
do it
I definitely
too.
forgot. I definitely forgot, and I still lost a minute. But I mean, that was the Doug Trio.
Yeah, but the Doug Trio is still, I would consider like, actually, I wouldn't even consider that to be like the worst RNG part, because Kieran exists. But we'll get
Kieran.
Oh no,
anybody
it's
who
Kieran
saw my
for me.
last Hotfix run, which was the teal mask, I died to Kieran twice, and Kieran is again the most difficult fight in the whole category. So both DLC categories, Kieran is actually a menace.
Although, to be fair, for the first Kieran fight, you died because you didn't think about moves.
Yeah, I forgot quick attack not once but twice. Thanks for reminding me. We're going to talk about that, but
I mean, we could. We do have another 6 minutes before something else happens.
So the Aurora is going to be out tonight. I really would implore everybody to go look at that because space is cool. Listen, I'll keep talking about space because there's also a comet that just crossed perihelion with the sun, and it's making its closest approach to Earth yesterday. Where is cafeteria, please?
Up 3.
I was thinking 1-4. And the comet's closest approach to Earth is 70.5 million miles, which isn't all that close, but it is, within the distance between the sun and the Earth. And it's so close to the sun right now, it's actually not visible in the sky because the sun is just blowing out its brightness. But starting on October 12th, it's going to be visible in the western sky just after sunset at approximately 7 p.m. with the comet's tail pointed up away from the horizon. And the tail of the comet should be approximately 15 to 20 degrees of arc length across the sky and a magnitude of -1.5. So it should be about on the same brightness as Venus, which will be just to the left of it in the sky. So it's going to be super cool. So that's Saturday night is when the comet should be super visible.
You said left is Venus, right is comet?
Left is Venus, right is comet at approximately 7 p.m.
I'm excited about the right one, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, this is the down moment of the run. We're still getting introduced to the Elite Four and Kieran. They're actually deciding if us, the foreign exchange student, should be allowed to even compete in their BB League or in their, Champions League or whatever they want to call it. And funny enough, all the boys voted yes and all the girls voted no. And Drayton is obsessed with us. This is also where we kind of figure out that, all the kids are actually, related to other people within the Pokemon universe. Drayton is, in fact, Drayton's son.
Grandson.
Just one letter apart.
It's such a hard sentence.
Yeah, and also...
and Lacey is Clay's kid.
Yeah. I do also want to give, if I may nerd out a little bit about this category, I do want to explain very quickly, the order of how we do things in this category, because that's also, a very interesting thing to discuss. So the order how we do things from the beginning of the game all the way to the end is we beat up the Cloth Titan. We get that ability to dash around. We then beat up the Steel Titan to get the ability to high jump. We then do 3 gym leaders, and then the rest 3 gym leaders. Yes, we do Iono, Brassius, and Larry. After we do all those, we then beat up Bombardier, beat up the Great Tusk Titan. We also do Tatsugiri and Dondozo. And so we do all the Titans immediately, pretty much. We then beat up Kofu, which should give us the 4th gym. And then after the 4th gym, we actually do an interesting thing where we detour to Kitakami. And the reason why we detour to Kitakami early is so that we can then pick up the Experience Charm, which then gives all Pokemon in our party, I believe, a 50% boost to Experience.
Yeah, and getting that early does matter. It does matter even though, the early game is still identical to any percent otherwise. In fact, we're using all of our experience candies to still hit level 73 before the 4th Titan. It's just in the later stages of the game, it starts adding just an extra level here or there. And we do snag a couple extra candies in Kitakami as well to help out.
Yeah, so by the time we reach the fighting base in any percent, we get to low 80s, high 70s. In this category, we get to level 86 by the time we do the fighting base, which allows us to essentially...
And those levels do help us save extra turns, and it starts in the fighting base where usually you have to X attack because you're even at 79 you're not quite strong enough, but at 86 you don't. And that's when it starts to matter. Ooh, a Chansey. Too bad it's not worth the same amount of experience as it does in Let's Go.
It's mostly because you get to do all of the DLC and you pick up all those rare candies. It's not so much because of the XP share, but yeah, it is nice getting the 1.5 boost.
Well, we only do half of the DLC on our first visit to Kitakami. Then we go back to do the any percent portion. And then once which does save time, and also like in the Elite Four, where this is like the one time I can say the Elite Four is completely setupless. You don't even have to use a single X attack in the entirety of Elite Four and Champion during that section, unless you're Tangled Feet. Unless you're Tangled Feet,
so
then you
I
have to
do
do it
have
once.
to
It
X
depends
attack
on the ability.
Larry,
Yeah, it's the ability.
because Staraptor does get you.
And then
And
after
I am Tangled Feet, so I did have to use that setup turn. So the Flamigo can... The only stuff that really matters with the Flamigo at this stage of the game is still its ability, which is either Tangled Feet or Scrappy, as we mentioned. Scrappy preventing Intimidate is kind of the big thing there, though we do effectively use Scrappy's other like line of text, which means you can hit ghost types with fighting or normal type moves. We do actually do that if you have a Scrappy Flamigo. And the other factor that matters is its Terra type, which can be
we'll
either
mention later.
flying or fighting. Now you would think, oh, isn't that like really slow to terrestrialize? And the answer is yes. We only use it on one fight because we basically have to terrestrialize.
But that's like in the last like 10 minutes. So we'll get to that when we get to that. Right now, we have to make a sandwich.
We have to make a sandwich. This is really important. Shen, have you ever made a sandwich?
Yeah, I had to
in
do
this
this for
game?
barbecue points, dude. I swear to God.
Yeah, the
so-
Elite, so all four of the Elite Four have a trial, and Crispin's trial is to make a super spicy sandwich.
This is actually
So
a really cool
the
part
idea
of
is
the run.
all
I
the
really
trainers
like this.
have the ingredients, so we need to go get some ingredients.
All right, this is my favorite.
This one's
scrap
a
of this
funny
fight.
battle because who knows about what Fissure does?
Well, they use it in competitive now, so it must be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
Fissure's
here we
just
want to
a
use
free
Fissure.
chance to
Yes,
save a
it is
turn.
optimal to use Fissure here. There is literally nothing better that we can choose to do here to except use Fissure. And if we do land Fissure, we do save like a good chunk of time if we actually land
Yeah.
Fissure. But it's
Because
sadly only a
double battles-
36% chance.
Yeah, double battles are really slow. So even saving one single turn in battle becomes incredibly worth it. So yeah, like Earthquake does not kill the camera up tier, so we're gonna go for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fun
here we
thing
just,
about
you know,
Fissure as well
acrobatics.
is, does it still work in this game where if you're higher level, you get slightly better accuracy?
Yeah,
Yes.
you get the extra 1%,
So
Yeah,
we
so
are
1%
level
34%.
above. which is not even all that much. Like the Doug Trio is what, level 78 right now?
It's 78
And
and,
it,
it's 74. So I think it's 34%.
So it's 34%. If you hit it, amazing. You do save a huge amount of time. If not, that's kind of the standard fight still.
yeah. So here,
I
what
hear
we're doing is
Quartermain,
we're
there's a
fighting
thing or two
specific
about
trainers
no
to
commands.
get ingredients. And I've routed so that we get the absolute minimum. Because there is one other trainer that we can fight here. That trainer has 4 Pokemon. We don't want to deal with him.
Yeah, the only 2 trainers we're going to fight are just, they strictly only have 2 Pokemon. Here, we'll get to see the first key of Doug Trio as like a really useful partner Pokemon. Because, yeah, it's... All right, I'm just going to make sure I do the menu correctly. Yeah. Earthquake is kind of good. So this is like the first instance of Flamigo isn't the attacker. It's actually the Doug Trio.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
one of the very
I love the
few
double
ones.
battles in this game because, like, from a Coliseum run, it was kind of a glitch to be able to use an X item on your partner and then be able to attack. But in this game, you can just use an X item on your partner or any X item and then attack with, like, +2 attack on the same turn. It's really broken. You'll be seeing that a lot during this.
And also has a fun little interaction with X speeds too, because starting from Generation 8, we have something called Dynamic Speed, but we'll worry about Dynamic Speed when we get there. Now Tifa has to get the rest of the ingredients.
Yeah, Dynamic Speed actually useful here.
There's
There are no more battles before Crispin, but we are basically trading ingredients with one another so I can get, in true speedrunner fashion, make a spicy sandwich, but only the minimum allowed spiciness.
Yeah.
To
So-
which Crispin actually comments on. He was just like, wow, that was spicy, but like, you could have done better.
Yeah. So this is the absolute minimum ingredients, and it's going to be very important that I'm going to actually remind T-Pat to, when you get to there,
Yep.
turn off turbo, because if you drop a single ingredient, you are losing 2 minutes.
Yep.
So this is
Don't
the
worry, I
absolute
got it, boss.
bare minimum of spiciness that this will allow. You can also spray the mayonnaise as well. It doesn't actually hinder you, but it doesn't help you either. It is like slight time loss if you pick it.
All right, so you know how you... Okay, how's everybody's sandwich making skills?
It's I put
first
chorizo
time
on the
seeing
left
this.
and jalapeno on the right.
Yeah, but
That's exactly how I
chorizo
make my
left,
sandwich.
onion center, and I'm gonna really spicy up this right end of the sandwich. In fact, I'm just gonna stash all those jalapenos right on top of each other. Oh,
You put the bread on top is wild.
chef's kiss, amazing.
I can't believe you put the bread on it. I throw the bread to the side usually.
Okay, so Shen, you actually have to be good at putting the bread on. The bread is the only thing you are allowed to drop, but it is time loss because Crispin will have an extra dialogue of text to be like, huh, you didn't put the bread on the top. Is this open-faced sandwich something that is unique of the Paldea region? And it's like, oh my god, shut up and just eat the stupid sandwich.
Yep, that is literally the reason why we... It's a funny little Easter egg if you actually do it, but yeah, time loss reason.
I've gotten it once,
literally
and I
time
was
reason.
just like, I was shocked. I was just like, it landed, like settled, and then like flipped over. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, the fun gravity that happens sometimes.
But also, I don't know about you. I did not put the mayonnaise on there because mayonnaise is gross. And I hate mayonnaise.
Yeah, I
like,
agree.
I didn't want to do that to Crispin, man. Mayonnaise is gross. Thankfully, not only does it not add to the spice, not decrease the spiciness, I think adding the mayonnaise would make it worse.
But
Is
thankfully,
mayonnaise
but
space neutral? I think it's space neutral.
Probably. Anyways, here's Crispin, our first of our Elite Four members. And like what we said, like basically everything is like a competitive based, moveset, items, abilities. And the
You want me
first
to
thing we're
take
going
the
to learn
explanation?
is that this Talonflame is holding a focus sash.
Right, so let's explain how this fight goes. Turn 1, we're actually going to use using a defensive X item, being an X special defense. Mainly so
Because
that we can tank
Rotom
the
is
thing.
likely going to hit up. It may
And
or may not hit us. We have to,
Depending on what Talonflame does, we'll see what fight this
Okay,
is.
good.
This is perfect. We want to see
Okay, this is a
Glenbridge
good
turn 1.
fight.
Not only does this knock out our dog trio, which is fine, but more importantly, that's useless. More importantly, it breaks the focus sash because the Talonflame now takes damage, and so now we can one-hit KO the Talonflame. It's other people will be like, oh, it's X speed because we want to outspeed the Talonflame. This is the one case where we actually take advantage of us being slower. This Rotom can do
So because
multiple
of this
things. We
interaction,
like
this
to
is
see
why I get hit
overheat.
with the overheat, which is why we X special defense turn 1.
Yes. And now we bring in Beluchador. And in this turn, we can now X attack our Flamigo,
X-attack.
which is required to take out the final Pokemon in this team, which is a Blaziken, which you might think, oh, we just hit it with a flying move. But do you remember the gimmick of this game?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's funny that like all of Crispin's Pokemon can be knocked out at +0 attack, but except the Blaziken. The key here, though, is that his whole team basically has Flame Body and Will-O-Wisp, so getting burned is A, very annoying, B, is always time loss, and C, you always have to calculate where and when you're getting burned and when to heal it off versus when to X attack. So it is actually really nice that I got a moment to X attack before getting burned because the Talonflame also has Flame Body.
Yeah.
Only
Talonflame and Magnemortar
which is
has Flame Body.
super annoying here. But the idea is that I am always going to heal off burn for Flamigo. The Hawlucha, I'm just going to hope gets hit with Thunderbolt from the Rotom here, because the idea is like, hey, if you just kill the partner, then the Flamigo will be totally fine. Plus, with Overheat, this Rotom is at -2 special attack, so we're never really in danger of getting Thunderbolted on the Flamigo. Though he did go for Hex, so that's actually slow because now I take that. Now I take the burn tick.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
You can make the
I almost
decision to heal this
I almost
Hawlucha.
want to heal the burn here.
Yeah. Hopefully this turn Rotom
I'm
actually
gonna
clicks
not.
Thunderbolt on Hawlucha. It is a knockout, by the way, but sometimes it's just
Yeah, it
the
always
AI can be
KOs
just
even
a
at the
little
minus
bit
2
dim.
special attack.
that
Went
should
for
work too.
Hex. Hex burn
No.
isn't that's not gonna do a
It's
boss.
-2. That's not gonna do much.
Yeah.
Well, at least we can try and damage ourselves to death.
Yeah, whatever.
Thanks to the Rocky Helmet. Okay, now it should see the KO and hopefully just go for either Hex or Thunderbolt, which is
It's
At this point, you
totally
probably
actually
don't
that's not
need
even
to get the
faster. I think
KO.
honestly, just Full Restore might not even be better. No, don't Full Restore.
No, I'm just saying. So like, I don't really want to burn all my full restore. It would have knowing that it didn't go for the kill. It would have been faster to full heal there, but if I full healed and then he knocked me out, then I would have just wasted time going to the menu. You're kind of in like a lose-lose situation going for it either way, and that's why these fights end up being complicated, because trying to calculate how to optimally do the fights in terms of like the speed run might be slightly different than like what's optimal or safe in the long term, and you have to just make all these like split decisions. He still just goes for Will-O-Wisp, which is just totally, I don't know.
Yeah, this is like, I think this is still the
Dumb.
weirdest Crispin I've ever seen. And believe me, I've done like tests of this route, like multiple
I've never
times.
not seen the Hawlucha die ever. Oh wait,
Well, it's gonna die now, and that's gonna be a waste
it's gonna
of time.
die now, which is gonna be very funny.
Yeah, it is. But it's gonna do enough damage.
No, it's a limit
Nope.
one.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
it
Yeah,
lived
I
on
was gonna say
one.
it's not enough. It's gonna do 10. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So here you full heal.
But
so
now
that
I
we can,
still
because,
have to full heal because I need to close combat this guy.
Yeah. Sadly, Burn does half your
Whatever.
attack
This Crispin
stats, so-
fight was very weird,
It
but
was
we
so
are
good
through.
because you didn't have to watch the Hawlucha die and send out a different Pokemon, so it was probably not even that much time lost. It was
It-
very weird.
I think
Actually, yeah,
I
that would
think
be
it
like
evens
the-
out a little bit because I didn't see the death animation, but obviously the burn animation is like just as slow.
This is still
Very
a cringe
weird.
fight. I still reckon this as a cringe fight. That's how
I
rate
gold
it.
split that. Well, I gold split that for Indigo Disk, not my individual files. I've only done this
Yeah.
run like 3 times in
This
full.
is where kind of like the run gets a bit more interesting, because sometimes the AI is just kind of dumb. It's like 99% of the time, Rotom sees Hawlucha, it thunderbolts it, and it does take the knockout. But it's like this Crispin is being weird, and if T-Pat's Hotfix curse is real, then we're gonna see more weird fights. Which
Yeah,
Well,
hold
Amorous,
on
I
to
really
that
hope
feeling,
not.
Crisis. Hold on to that feeling, because if you thought that was weird, there could be some very derailing fights.
Like I said,
I think I had a
hope it doesn't
discussion
happen for
in
Amorous.
chat with. I had a discussion in chat with Anubis once, and we were actually, funny enough, talking about how the weather works in Scarlet and Violet. Because they did a bunch of research about it, mainly for like the shiny hunters, where you would stand on the edge of one of the biodomes and then shiny hunt into a different area as you would force a more favorable weather. That might be beside the point, but I will always take an opportunity to talk about weather no matter what. We were actually discussing like, is it worth like trying to figure out how the AI like works in this game? Or is it more about like circumstance? And it might be more circumstance. Like, yeah, it's like the Rotom's always going to see a kill, but there will always be a percentage chance that it just does something different. And that is very much a problem on some later fights where we would really like the AI to behave. And if it doesn't, it can go off the rails very quickly. In fact, in some
Satan.
cases, Lechonk could evolve. Okay, you all think Lechonk was just some like death fodder Pokemon. No. I've seen Lechonk evolve more than once in this category because the AI can do something very strange.
Yeah,
I did
the
not
AI
see
really
any
quick.
swimming Pokemon yet.
Do you always teach Encore to Hawlucha? Is that just always
Yes.
on your moveset?
Yes,
That might
this is
be
something
why
that
it
you need to
sometimes
do.
doesn't kill you. No, I understand that you do teach it. That not teaching it might allow it to always Thunderbolt there, because I think part of it is it sees that you could Encore. Because I've had similar in my routing when I was routing this.
That's interesting.
That would be interesting, but the thing is, we've always taught Encore to Hawlucha, and
Crisis is just trying to say he's built different, Shen. Okay.
It can
we
still
just need to get
Thunderbolt,
on
it just
his
doesn't
level.
always. It sees that you have a way to prevent it from using Thunderbolt, so sometimes it won't.
That would be interesting, but it's just more of the fact that it's like this is like more of an outlier case than I've ever seen in this case. Like every time I've seen T-Pat do this run, and also every time I've done this run, which I understand, not very large sample size, it's always
My
it's
fights
either
are
done
all
Will-O-Wisp
significantly more
or
cringe.
Thunderbolt.
Anyways, we've made it to Amorous. I'm convinced Amorous is just a robot. He's just like so strict and uptight. Amorous is the Steel type Elite Four member, but her trial is the Flying trial, which is
How that makes sense,
on
I don't
brand
know.
because one of her lead Pokemon is a Skarmory. So this is one of the few times that we actually get to see our Miraidon not glide, but actually fly. And if you are all big fans of the SGDQ minigame that happened, we also have a nice, fun minigame for you all. I'm sure Shed knows what's going to happen in this minigame.
After watching the GDQ run, I had no clue.
You have no...
Well, so
All
the
right,
thing
chat.
is, we do have a
Don't
time,
spoil.
right?
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil
I'm not
it.
gonna
I just
spoil
want
it too
chat to
much,
react.
but
Okay.
we do
Chat, tell
have-
me where to go. Watch the screen and then tell me where to go. Be like up, left, down, right, forward. Like just
Oh,
shout
God.
out in chat.
Think of the blueberry
It's Twitch
points.
plays Pokemon.
Yep. Yeah, this is like Twitch plays Pokemon.
Should
We're
we
just gonna
mention,
ignore
like,
the
you
fact
get
that there
blueberry
might be a
points
little
if
bit
you
of a
win?
delay, so you all have to be like really on it here. Okay, so here we go. So here's that first ring. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, forward.
Go right. No, go left,
Oh,
left. Yeah.
whoa. Oh,
Oh,
wait. Are
boy.
my controls backwards? Hold on. Wait. I'm pretty far away. Wait,
You'll
where are
make
like
it, you'll
any
make
of
it.
these rings? I don't know. Okay. Oh, there's some rings. I'll go after those. In fact, I'll hit this like loop first because I'm kind of running out of time here. I got like 5 seconds left. So let's hit this one and we're done.
Yeah, the ring just add time, so you don't actually have to do the course. It's all about just getting to the end.
Yeah, so how it's worded is get to the end. You have 30 seconds. The rings add 3 seconds if you need them. So we just say grab one ring and forget about the entire course. And just
Go that way.
Bye.
There's a
Well,
really
that was a fun
funny.
minigame. I really enjoyed that. We should do that again sometime.
You can.
In
There's
fact, we will
5
do that again
courses.
sometime. This Saturday on Direct Relief, done quick. Watch the marathon this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to help victims of Hurricane Helene. It's a really good cause. Everybody should watch it. And I'm doing a
Also,
run.
T-Pat, you might not know this, but there's actually more obstacle courses that you can do once you're done with the
Oh.
game.
Yeah, there's like 5.
Oh, wait. Is this like the olive roll? Because I hated the olive roll.
It kind of is.
Wait,
It's funny
all
for
right,
Catch 'em
that's
All.
fine.
We do them for the blueberry points because the last one gives you like 1,000 blueberry points.
Oh, okay.
So you have to do
See,
all.
that's like worth it
all
because
of
like
them.
the olive roll sucks, but like every other olive roll is like insanely hard. Like there are no edges. You are just floating out there in the middle.
I mean, I don't know what you're on
we should
about.
make a
Olive Roll is just
category that's
skill
all
issue.
rolls, all courses. You have to do like
No,
you have to do
that
all
actually-
the olive rolls, all of the flying courses, and all of the
That
The
actually would be
Overalls
sick.
thing.
I would
I'll
would
do that
love
as a
that. I
meme.
hate the
I'll
olive roll,
gladly
but
do
I
that.
think that would be a blast.
I'll gladly
That's
do
a
that
good
as a
bit.
meme. Anyway, Amorous, this fight can be
Hi.
very sketchy if Skarmory chooses one very particular move.
Yeah,
So
don't say
before
it.
that,
Don't
we're
say it.
going
Don't
to
say it. Don't
see-
say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Shush.
All right, I'm not gonna say it then.
Okay, we can't talk about what move this Skarmory has until we physically see it attack. And this first turn is the longest double turn in the entire category.
Yeah,
As you will
we're gonna
find
see
out, like
Earthquake.
this takes over a minute to accomplish this one turn.
Yeah, we're gonna see Earthquake. It's gonna be like, it doesn't affect Flamigo, doesn't affect Skarmory. We're gonna
Yeah,
use a
we
double
double
kick,
kick,
and
and
then
then
we're
we
gonna trigger
activate
the Focus
We activate
Sash,
Focus Sash. We
and
activate
then we're gonna see
Tangling
its
Hair,
ability.
Not once, but twice.
Oh, don't forget the super effective text that we're gonna see afterwards.
Good thing I haven't crit Amorous yet. Otherwise, we would also have gotten crit text on top of super effective text. Though it could
Right,
actually take
Skarmory.
longer.
Buddy,
Yep. Okay. Skarmory.
Yeah.
Yep.
what are you gonna do, buddy? The trio fainted. Yep.
Okay. Good.
Body
Okay.
press. All right,
Nice.
We
cool.
did not
So,
get Whirlwind. Whirlwind is scary turn 1. Whirlwind would be scary any turn. But now we have taught Hawlucha Encore, and that's why Hawlucha is required for this run. I'm going to be very careful to make sure that I
it's
select
fast?
that.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's even better now.
Oh, wait, this is actually really good. The Skarmory naturally chose Stealth Rock, and now I'm locking it into Stealth Rock, and Stealth Rock is actually the fastest animation that we can see because Stealth Rock will now fail every single time versus it doing body press and actually doing the animation and doing damage. So that was actually really, really good.
Luckily,
just
Whirlwind's
realized
negative priority, so it couldn't have Whirlwinded and then you encored into Whirlwind.
Yes.
It would always be
Yeah, that is
priority.
true, but I just realized something. This is the world's slowest Hawlucha.
Maybe.
Because normally how the speed order is supposed to go is Hawlucha encores the Skarmory. If Skarmory doesn't use a negative priority move, it will then use its move,
body
which
press.
it can't, which will be body press, and then Flamigo will attack, which... this Hawlucha
it's
must
really
be like...
funny that the slowest Hawlucha ever was actually optimal in that situation.
Yeah. Here's
This is
a
also
chance
why
that
you
Hawlucha
don't
will die. If
use
it doesn't, that's fine.
It allowed the Skarmory to do the Stealth Rock.
But which is fine, but also we want to use Hawlucha to attack us because we want to break the sturdy ability that it has. If we didn't do it with
Skarmory has
Hawlucha,
sturdy.
that's a crit. Yep.
No, I crit hammer too!
It's like the moment
Another
I
one
saw
down.
that damage,
We're keeping track.
yeah, the moment I saw that damage, it's like, yeah, that's 100% a crit.
You know what's funny? Lacey crit me. I crit. Oh wait. I was mashing.
Low kick, please, thank you.
Oh. Yep, we're good.
Oh, phew. That would have been really
Lacey
bad.
crit me. I crit Carmine. Crispin crit me, and now I've crit Amorous. So we're actually 2-2 on crits.
Yeah, and sadly, crits are just slow. There is not a single useful crit, sadly.
There might be one for the very end.
Not even those crits are useful.
Oh, really? I'm surprised.
They're not.
No,
I
they're
think I know
not.
what Shen's thinking of, and think of a 0.2 multiplier to your damage output.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's not going to matter.
No, I've done the calcs. That does not matter. We haven't seen actually Meowstic show its weight, but hopefully, soon enough we will.
Okay,
Now
there's
close
the
combat is
Encore
guaranteed
ended, but
to
it
KO,
doesn't
which
matter.
is great.
Why?
It does
Okay.
matter. You need to close combat it. Because
Yeah,
fun little
I just-
fact about this Skarmory.
No,
if you
the
want,
weird
if
thing
anyone
is that
curious.
most turns the cursor resets, but not all turns. It's weird. This
Oh,
game
yeah.
is weird. So I only did one down input because I thought the cursor reset. The cursor usually doesn't reset on the last remaining Pokemon. I cannot explain why. And then sometimes it will just randomly not reset anyways. So
Also, that
Ooh.
Skarmory is incredibly bulky for those who want to know. It has 252 defense, 252 HP with a plus defense nature to boot. So even with chip damage, that sometimes isn't a KO, but actually the crit does make it a little bit helpful to actually knock out the Skarmory in one hit.
can I just say, happy 8 hours, everyone.
Nice.
Definitely
Happy
an
8 hours into this run.
Yeah, definitely.
How's chat doing?
100%.
Have you been enjoying this 8-hour speed run up to this point? Because we still got more than an hour to go.
So far, I've watched 3.5 hours of the run because I've got the 2.5 speed other run in the corner.
How am I
Damn.
doing?
Oh, you're not doing too bad, honestly. You're about
so
to head into
my-
fighting base.
So my Flamigo that I caught originally, as we mentioned, was Tangle Feet and Flying Terra. In that part of the early game, Shen, it does also matter like what your stats are. That Flamigo was a timid nature.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, thankfully I did one-shot Iono because
the
with minus
Mischievous.
attack, the Miss Magius can be a range. In fact,
Yep.
my first ever run, like full run of this game, I also have a timid Flamigo, and I missed that range. You get confused, Ray, and I hit
Yep.
myself in confusion twice, and I almost died. To the
that
first
was
gym
just
leader
like,
of the
could
game
you
in a
stop,
Scarlet Violet speedrun.
Yeah, that's something I'm more aware of is all the any percent stuff because that was something else that I actually did. So Yeah, that Iono fight is like such a pain because we wanted to rush the Iono fight, but then some Flamigos, aka minus attacks, with Tangled Feet just have issues there.
Yeah.
It's just so annoying, like trying to be like, okay, so if you have these stats, you want to do this strat. If you have these stats, you want to do this strat. It's just so hard.
Well, thankfully, it's more simplified now. If you're Tangled Feet, you do one thing. You're Scrappy, you do another thing. And if you're very specifically Scrappy minus attack, you grab this one candy that no other route does.
I also wanted to allude to that, like, my attack was actually pretty high. It was like 28 or 29 IV attack. But all that doesn't matter because in this category, we do hyper train. So my attack stat and speed stat have been hyper trained to 31. And the nature mints also exist. So the Flamigo, instead of being timid, is now adamant, which is effectively a 20% increase to my attack stat. So that's great.
That's also
is probably my favorite trial because it's the quiz trial. So kind of taking
hilarious, yeah.
It's a page out of Blaine's book. And yeah, in chat, just shout out what you think all these quizzes are. If you didn't read what they're looking for, then you just gotta be faster.
Also, just to allude to something earlier, we also do buy vitamins for our Flamigo, specifically by the Ghost Gym. We buy 17 proteins, which is the exact number by the end of the game in both Scarlet and Violet version to have, by the time you do Indigo Disk, max EVs and attack.
So while I kind of jest that this quiz is my favorite, there is a lot of skill involved. So obviously you just saw me click the eyes on the Venonat and the cheeks on the Pikachu. Yeah, they're like moving around and they can still do their animations. So actually nailing down the part of the body that you need
that's a shame.
Is a little bit difficult.
Also,
and you need to be careful because if you miss once, it's okay. If you miss twice, I think you have to fight an optional.
Yes, that is correct. Also,
this one's my favorite. This is like the scoreboard at a baseball game where it's like the ball under the cap and they mix them up.
Yeah. I'm sad it's not random every time and you have to actually do them.
I know. No. I wish it was random.
Teapot, you should have dropped the controller and like do a bit where it's like you didn't see and it's like now you have to guess.
What? Oh, where'd it go? And then have chat try to like respond.
Yeah. Anyway, one annoying thing about this is the fact that some of the Pokemon have their little animations. And if you select the body part while the animations is playing, you have to wait for the like animation to stop. It's really annoying for the Sinistea because if they do the spinning animation, which they like to do,
slow.
You have to wait until they stop spinning.
And that's because it wants you to like see the antique like mark underneath it, so it does that slow spin underneath, and So there is time to be gained or lost, even in this Lacey trial. So it's not like just mash A. That I actually do really like that trial because if you're on it, you will get rewarded.
Now it's time for this.
For Lacey.
Initially, when I tried to route this, it was initially intended to be the final fight because, you know, if you bring a Flamigo to a fairy, then you kind of want to be the highest level. But the Dragon trial did definitely tell me that, no, that's supposed to be the last fight. For reasons we'll explain. So, yeah, this is Lacey.
We saw Lacey earlier where she used the Plusle Minun, but she was like, that was for funsies. Now here's my real team.
Have you seen
and as I
past
mentioned,
the
she
Minun?
is... Yeah. And as I also mentioned, she's Clay's daughter. And as such, she's the only Elite Four member who will terrestrialize a Pokemon not of her primary type.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, if you do beat the Plusle Minun, you do see the Excadrill as well, but she won't terrestrialize there.
Yeah.
And that thing can knock out your Flamigo in one hit.
Too. It's crazy.
Anyway, now it's time for kind of a cringe fight if you're playing on Tangled Feet, because we do have to use a second X attack here instead of just using just one. But essentially, we want to use the first one here.
It's not a big deal. It's usually about the same number of turns anyways. But if you are Scrappy, you are more likely to have like the optimal number of turns. Like I'm basically more likely to lose a turn in a worst case scenario. But this fight doesn't feel like inherently dangerous, thankfully.
Yeah.
It can just be annoying.
Yeah, now we bring in the Doug Trio. And now we use an X special defense because this Whimsicott can be a bit annoying. So this Whimsicott, the best move it can use is Light Screen. The worst thing it can do is anything else. And one of the moves we have to be careful about, and this is where the mention of dynamic speed actually comes into full play, is that this Whimsicott has Tailwind. And this
Whimsicott's ability is Prankster, which means all non-damaging moves get priority. So we have to be aware of Prankster Tailwind and the dynamic speed that the game has.
The
By the way, it will
faster
always
than me, right?
Energy Ball and Light Screen turn 1, turn 2, but in one or the other order.
Oh yeah, here's
It's just
everyone's
faster than
favorite
you
ability,
currently,
Slow Start, Quick Draw. So,
Of course I get Quick Draw.
okay.
Cool.
So guess what? Doug Trio is dying this turn, 100%. Unless for
That's
some reason
fine.
the Slowbro chooses Psychic. It's most likely going for Flamethrower. Okay, that's kind of cringe.
Yeah, they can double target the Flamiga there.
Okay, no it doesn't.
Okay.
That's fine.
This ends up being fine.
It should be if Whimsicott doesn't Moonblast your Flamigo, but now we have to set up our first X speed because we still need to outspeed the Excadrill, which has a really interesting speed dynamic that we have to think about. And the interesting speed dynamic that we have to think about is we don't outspeed it unless we X speed, but if they Tailwind, we have to use another X speed. So ideally, our Flamigo gets knocked. No, not Flamigo. Our Doug Trio gets knocked out here.
So this is the best case scenario if. Yes,
Energy
okay.
Ball,
So
that's
if the Doug Trio dies here, I have the best case
Perfect.
scenario where this is the only opportunity where I do not need to go +4, and it will be our first usage of Fake Out to prevent Tailwind.
So Fake Out, for those who don't know, is a +3 priority move, 40 base power, which can only be used on the first turn, but guarantees a flinch. So this does two things for us. One, prevents Whimsicott from ever going for Tailwind, meaning we don't have to deal with the X speed. But two, more importantly, that Whimsicott does have a Focus Sash, which we can
Focus
break
Sash!
with Fake Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I hope
I'm
you
sure
like
some
Focus
people
Sashes.
wonder-
If you're
Every-
tired of hearing about Focus Sash, get ready to hear it more.
Yeah, Talonflame has one, Doug Trio has one, Whimsicott has one, and also there's going to be one other Pokemon that has one. The Whimsicott actually did try to go for Tailwind because you, with 1x speed, you
I got
outspeed
the
the
flinch.
Whimsicott.
Yeah.
So by knowing move orders, you actually know what move the AI actually went for. So here, you can go Close Combat plus Psychic, and you should be completely fine. I think.
Yep.
You are plus
Yeah,
3.
Close Combat should almost always kill, and Psychic would tap it in anyways.
Yeah. This
And
Whimsicott
by
just...
using Close Combat instead of Acrobatics, we avoid super effective flavor attacks from Lacey. So that ended up being actually pretty good. It was a little bit scary to see Quick Draw because the Slowbro just did a little extra damage for no reason.
Yeah. Normally it goes for Flamethrower. It's kind of rare to see Psychic, but I guess it just chose Psychic today.
Listen, my Elite Four battles always choose violence.
I mean, to be fair, this Psychic actually helped you getting the perfect Tangled Feet fight, so... Which,
Yeah, because we just saw Fake Out for the first time there. I actually should have used Fake Out twice up to that point. It's actually just very weird that I've not used the Meowstic at all. But Fake Out will continue to be very, very important. And it's routed in such a way, thanks, Crisis, that we will likely be using Fake Out in really, really useful scenarios like that. Like Fake Out on the Tailwind turn and break Focus Sash at the same time. Super duper useful. Like Fake Out is in fact the best move in this category.
if you get
So
lucky
you
with-
see so we've showed the utility of the Meowstic, that static Meowstic that we caught, and we also saw a bit of the Alolan Doug Trio in terms of it using Earthquake. But also it's just like really useful, obviously, to have Death Fodder. To be honest, like we want that second Pokemon to be targeting the second slot more often than not, and leave the Flamigo alone. Basically, making our opponents misidentify what the real threat is. I forgot to check my Meowstic's
You're neutral, you're
nature,
fine.
so I'm gonna grab that just in case.
You're neutral anyway.
Did you confirm
I
I was
did see,
neutral?
yes.
Neutral. Okay.
Yeah.
I just grabbed that because it's on the way.
So we grabbed
there's
that
this,
nature
there's this
because
weird thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Shen.
Yeah, I was gonna say another thing to mention, and like why it's not that big a deal to have captured 2 Pokemon is you need to catch Pokemon for the upcoming trial anyway. So you're gonna go out of your way to catch 2 things anyway. You may as well catch 2 useful things, and the Lowen Doug trio gets us the quest for free because you have to catch the Lowen Pokemon. And then the Meowstic's just a static that's always there. It's a guaranteed catch when you backstrike it, and it comes with these useful moves. So that's why you make the decisions to get those 2 Pokemon.
Yeah. Also, the Meowstic gives you the BP that you need for every single trial that you need, which is also another reason why we catch it. There were other considerations in the early. I did consider the combination of Alolan Muck plus Flygon, mainly because I didn't realize that there was actually an Alolan Doug Trio static, and also the Alolan Diglets were not a guaranteed spawn from what I noticed, but obviously now as the route got better, obviously new Pokemon were found to be much better solutions for these trials. Because yes, Drayton has the gimmick ripped straight
I was
from
going to mention
Raihan.
Drayton's trials gimmick is that he says against his gym trainers, or Elite Four trainers in this case, you can only use Pokemon used caught in the terrarium. So Flamigo is banned for the trial.
Yeah.
Outright banned. I'm also going to call for a little bit of serious time because it is also not snowing right now. So I really want to make sure that my menu is very good.
I just want to say also,
I want to fight this center trainer not in the snow. So I kind of got to hurry. It would be funny that this would matter. Okay, bit of serious time here. We need the muscle band. Good, got it.
Nice.
Wait.
And the air balloon's very, very useful here as well because all 3 of these fights have a very similar strategy, you'll know this. And there's a very, very good move the air balloon will help us to dodge in all 3 of these fights.
Yeah. Doug Trio is the hero here, but Meowstic does break Sturdy twice out of these 3 battles. But this one is really important to not get snow because we have 2 ice types on the field.
Snow in this gen doubles defense.
The Sand Slash has Snow Veil, so it increases evasion. And just the overall defensive boost that ice types get in the snow, the Dugong becomes a range. But not in the snow, neither of that is a concern, and it is guaranteed. In fact, the snow literally just began on the screen.
So this is actually a good place to indicate. If a weather happens within a turn, it doesn't matter because the weather will just not take place in the fight. So even though, as long as we start the fight with no snow, it can spawn in the middle of a fight and be completely fine. It's also kind of funny that you can get this effect in the water gym where a sandstorm starts in the fight, then the sandstorm goes away, where you still take the tick damage from sandstorm, or the other way round where the sandstorm didn't spawn, then it spawned mid-fight, and then the sandstorm ticks. The funny one is when you do the water gym rematch, where Sandstorm doesn't spawn at the first start, then it spawns in, and then Drizzle Rain happens, so you get the funny thing of having both Sandstorm and Rain happen at the same time.
I love that. You can get that on Clavel, too, because if it's raining at the start of Clavel, the Abomasnow then puts up the snow warning, and you get rain and snow at the same time, which I, as the meteorologist, would accurately call a wintry mix. And it is probably my favorite weather type. It would also be totally on brand for me to explain how weather works in this game. Again, the Anubis did a ton of research into figuring out how it works. There are basically main world timers and then sub-world timers that run independently, and they're on a 2 to 5 minute random timer. The large area weather does influence the actual percentages that the sub areas can have. And say if in the desert area, it changes from sandstorm to rain in the main area. If the sub area has a incompatible weather, it will just cancel that timer and then re-roll the weather.
I also want to say this is actually a perfect indication of Fake Out's utility. Not only is it like, doing the little chip damage that is required, but also thanks to its priority, it outspeeds the Earthquake, meaning we do not proc sturdy. Which any time loss, any time save that we can get is good time save.
Yeah. Hatchimal actually uses the quick attack Timbeak, is that the one? The Pika Pack, the little baby with the quick attack.
Oh.
Yeah, because it evolves for free, so it's really funny. It's the same concept where you use quick attack to break sturdy, but it's just the little bird that tries.
Yeah, so here, T-Pat is going to say no to Drayton.
That's right.
Because every...
I always just hold the...
So every gym trial, you can say no to change your team, which normally isn't really required, but this one is absolutely required because...
Yeah, we want... So Flamigo is unbanned now. Drayton is impressed with us, so... Yeah, we're gonna put that Flamigo and friends in this party.
But also, if you're asking, why don't we just Earthquake spam? Well, if you remember the first Crispin fight, it had Rotom Heat and a Talonflame, 2 Pokemon immune to flying, immune to ground.
Yeah.
We had also Starmie, which was immune to ground. We also had Whimsicott, which has a resistance to ground. And now we're about to face a Dragonite and a Flygon, which also, both of them have immunities to ground. That's actually a smart way to do that menu.
I want to change hold item in this case, and now we're going to go get that lucky egg.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
now we're good.
We do actually want Meowstic
Wait,
now to have
Lechonk in the second slot? That means Lechonk's going to be in the lead for this fight. What's Lechonk?
Remember how I told you that I've seen Lechonk evolve in this run before?
Yeah,
it is not guaranteed that Lechonk dies. So if you want to root for Lechonk winning
I'm so
and giving me one of the most cringe Drayton fights possible, that's what you root for. If not, eat bacon. It's good for you.
So
Drayton is the most straightforward plan-wise, but if he does not E-speed turn 1, it goes haywire fast. And then it is very scary.
It doesn't go haywire fast unless it ice spinners you, but it does go pretty bad. So the main suggestion here is we are actually going to be using X speed turn 1 instead of X attack.
Yeah.
That way we can outspeed the Flygon turn 1.
Do you think Earthquake would work in this situation, chat? Just look at it, yeah.
I'm going to assume 0.01%. So here you X speed. And then hopefully the Dragonite goes for the bacon.
Yeah, and we want to outspeed the Flygon because it has Breaking Swipe, which is a move that drops your attack, and we would like to not have that happen, please.
Yeah. So now
this was the good version of the fight. So
luckily it's a one-shot.
Yeah, no, Flygon's
not.
If
it wasn't a one-shot, it would get messy fast.
So now we bring in the Lucha. Ideally, this Dragonite...
This is also where I get the most cringe Drayton fights, because guess what? Both of my Pokemon are weak to Ice right now. You know what move Dragonite has? Ice Spinner. Do you know which of these 2 Pokemon would be KO'd by Ice Spinner? The Hawlucha.
Let's flip a coin. Let's flip a coin and see which one we attack.
Yeah.
So, for me specifically... sometimes this Dragonite's just like, nah, screw this Hawlucha. Or, screw this Flamigo. But yeah, he went for the Hawlucha this time.
All right, perfect fight.
So now we're out of the woods for sure here.
Yeah, so now we're going to bring in our Meowstic, and like before, we are going to be using Fake Out, but the thing that we are actually breaking is this time not a Focus Sash. Dragonite has the ability Multi-Scale, which has the effect of halving all damage as long as you are at full HP. So we're just going to break that real quick. Dragonite's not going to do anything.
And I've crit! And I've crit!
And you crit again.
Oh no. Oh no, you know what that means? That means Kieran's going to crit me.
Oh no, that's a bad crit.
It's going to happen.
Don't manifest that. Do not manifest Drayton. Anyway,
it's gonna
Axos has the
happen.
Focus Sash,
You can't stop it, man. You just cannot stop it.
By the way, we double kick the Haxorus because it has Focus Sash, and we actually used Quick Guard because if Dragonite tries to E-Speed, we just block it. Doesn't always happen, but it is a very quick animation for
it's a quick
so
animation, and like doing extra damage doesn't help us at all here. We just needed the fake out damage.
Yeah.
It did go for Ice Spinner.
No, it went for Ice Spinner or Tailwind.
Yeah, Tailwind is awkward, but Tailwind at this stage is actually totally
Your
fine.
defense sucks.
Oh, it sure does. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So please actually max bow. Thank you.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, the Ice Spinner always does a little more than half, so we do always have to heal.
Well,
You say my wait, I can actually tell you what my defense is. I still have it pulled up. My defense is 9 to 10 IV, which is
What's your HP then? That shouldn't do that much damage.
my HP is 14-15.
Probably just a high roll. It happens.
Yeah, it has to be a high roll.
That
because
didn't
normally
necessarily
you just-
look like a high roll. He did like 150 damage out of 280, which looked pretty normal. It's when he puts me at like 100 where I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Also, don't
What a
low kick the
monster.
Archaladon. I've learned that lesson. It's not. It's surprisingly that hunk of metal does not weigh a lot.
Yeah, kind of weird.
Yeah. Then Ice Spinner.
Alright, I
because
do not.
it's a thing.
I can quick
thankfully,
guard
you're
here.
not in E-Speed range. You should not have quick guarded there because the animation goes first. But whatever. Time loss is time loss.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Well, I'll tell you this, Crisis. It was a marathon run. I crit rating again, but like, ooh, maybe that crit means I don't get crit now.
No, because it's you crit. No, it means that Karen is gonna double crit you.
Oh gosh,
what it means.
I don't have a chance to get double crit.
All right. Thankfully.
Yeah, I
First
actually
off, I'm
did
gonna
lose
have to
7
ask you,
seconds
is
to that
autosave
fight,
on?
and
Because
yeah,
if
it turns out
is-
that's just how much the animation is.
Yeah. Yeah, Quick Guard has like a very quick animation, which is really nice, and also is actually useful for this fight if Drayton surprisingly goes for E-Speed instead of Ice Spinner, which Ice Spinner can target the Meowstic. It's also a 2-hit KO, and Ice Spinner also, and then E-Speed goes into E-Speed range because then, because Ice Spinner E-Speed does have the same base power, but well, that's like circumstance. Like as long as your turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3 are exactly as planned, this Drayton's pretty much free.
Yeah, that was probably my fights have gotten just more and more comfortable as it's gone on. Hopefully that trend also continues because yeah, we are just kind of blitzing. I mean, we've beaten all the Elite Four now, so all that's left is the champion. And as I mentioned, like Kieran is the threat. As he is in the teal mask, in this category, he's the hardest fight in the whole game. I believe also including all of the post-game epilogue, everything. Like, Kieran is the biggest threat.
I can 100% agree and confirm. Kieran is by far the worst fight. The only fight that comes close is Nemona 7, which we will see in the Mochi Mayhem segment coming soon. But even then, it's like, if Kieran is like 10 in difficulty, Nemona 7 is like 7. It's like, this Kieran fight is not a joke.
So, yeah, bless up, chats, because I will need all of your good RNG for this. Yeah.
By the way, if you actually do die turn
2 in
1,
chat, would certainly love that.
by the way, if you do die turn 1, it is a 3-minute time loss because there's going to be a cutscene that we're going to have to watch, and every time we fail, we're going to have to watch it again. Also, this dialogue too.
Jen, did you ever make it this far? I mean, you've gone to all the way to Serapagos, right?
Oh yeah, I brought it all this. I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This fight is incredibly scary because turn 1, we're just going to X attack, we're going to X special defense, and we're just going to let let Kieran do his thing.
So if there's a turn to, not get crit on.
It's not just not get
just like
crit.
slip Kieran at 20, be like, hey, can you throw, bud? Cool,
I
thanks.
will
It's not
say,
just-
anytime you see a speedrunner use an X defend or an X special defend, crits are like extra bad because a crit is if you hadn't used the X item. So whenever you see a speedrunner setting up like defensive X items and then they get crit, just feel for them.
Yeah.
It's just never good.
The math works out that compared to a normal hit, this crit will do 3 times as much.
Yeah.
It just so happens that the move that we are most likely going to get hit by does a little more than a third of Flamigo's HP.
Wow, no way. And if you multiply that by 3, what does...
Whoa.
Yeah. But that's
Wow,
why-
that's one. That means
this
one.
Is not Corvée levels of math. I think you all know the outcome
yeah.
of what
that's
that would do.
Only one scenario. There is one other scenario that we are scared of, and
Yeah, there's another scenario where the crit doesn't matter. You just die. You just auto die immediately on the spot.
let's just say we do
Let's
not
just
want a
say-
hurricane.
Let's just say if
Please.
I just want to see
gives us a
Hurricane
chance to
confuse
let
and a bunch of
the
dodges.
Lechonk evolve, we don't live.
Yeah.
Hurricane
Let's just-
confuse, dodge every move. Come on, do it one time.
Oh no, you can't dodge. You
If we
can't dodge
see
Hurricane because
Hurricane,
Politoed
we're
Oh,
is
that's
dead.
neutral.
true. Yeah, yeah.
If we see
I
Hurricane,
meant
we're
future
dead.
moves. I meant future moves.
Yeah, if we see
All right.
Hurricane, we're just dead. So please,
Yeah,
no.
you do.
Especially
Literally,
if it's
I have it
helping
listed
hand
as Strat 0, Flamigo KO'd, reset.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
you ju-
strat.
you
That's
just
like
auto-die.
if Flamingo dies turn 1, it is over.
Okay, that's part of it. That's part of it. That's not all of it.
Now the weather ball just needs to be cooperative.
Also, can I just say, banger alert.
Oh, believe me, we're gonna get a bigger banger. Weather ball, don't do it.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, we're fine.
nice.
So now, step 2.
Okay,
we send in
all the
Halucha to be
successive
bait for
turns are
Politoed.
less scary. Yeah.
It's still
Does
scary.
your Hawlucha outspeed this?
No, essentially, we are out going to +4, so that even with the multi-scale, acrobatics just knocks it out. That's
Oh,
literally
you're
the
plus
plan.
4. Yeah, okay.
And now we one-hit KO everything without needing to use super effective text, with one small exception, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Oh, I'll
So
go
now,
for it too.
Halucha.
Don't you worry, I'll go for that.
All right. So now we bring in the Doug Trio, which again, the main thing that we're doing here is baiting the Politoed to be like, here's a fresh piece of meat.
Yeah. By the way, this Porygon Z, do you want to explain the Porygon Z and why this is just so freaking scary?
Yeah, so we X-speed this thing because this Porygon Zine has adaptability Hyper Beam with Life Orb. If that
Yeah,
hits
it's
you,
crazy.
regardless of the X special defense, you are dead. There's literally no
You
way
are
in surviving that.
mega dead to that.
I think it's even +6 special defense, you're just still dead.
Nah, definitely not.
All right,
Not
and then
close.
again, so this is why the Politoad's a little less threatening on these successive turns, and we also get Meowstic in on the most optimal turn because on this turn the Grimmsnarl comes out, and hey, Prankster Reflect exists. So like how we stopped Prankster Tailwind, we are going to stop Prankster Reflect.
It also has a second use case because, oh, first off, it went for Reflect, but second off,
Yeah, I did go for
we
Reflect.
don't see the Focus Sash. Yes, this is the final
Focus
time we're
Sash
going to mention.
again.
This is the final time
Everyone's
we're going to
got
mention
one.
Focus Sash. Now, very important, we would like to see Meowstic live here.
Good.
It does. Very good. Which is
Do
really
I
helpful.
heal?
Yeah, you...
Do I heal the Meowstic?
Good question.
I will.
think so.
For safety, I will.
Yeah, the main thing we are a bit... you could have also quit. It's kind of an awkward thing what you do here, because there's a lot of different plays that you can do. Typically, you heal Flamigo, there's the fake out.
Oh.
So, yeah, your Meowstic is probably dying here.
The VGC King, Incineroar. Like I told you,
Surprisingly,
baby's
it does
first
not go for
VGC,
fake
and
out for its utility.
Kieran's really
it
into
only
it.
It sees a KO, it goes for it. So, thankfully, your Meowstic did live
Okay.
because it didn't double target, which is interesting because it should, but whatever. And now Politoed does even less damage. And remember when I said that it KOs most things? Well, we want to avoid super effective text, right? So, because of our because we're now +3, this low kick is a 15 and 16 to kill, which is really funny.
And that's why we always make sure to click Psychic so we can tap in the KO in the event that we absolutely low roll.
That doesn't
I've
happen.
never
if
missed
you're-
the 15 and 16 before. Wait, I have.
by the-
I've never missed twice before. No, I've already done that too. I've never missed this low roll 3 times before. Yeah.
Thankfully, it just goes for Gyro Ball for some reason, and not its like Dragon move, which is fine. But yes, this is a 15 and 16. Only if you are Tangled Feet, because Incineroar's attack drop does actually matter. If you're +4, it's just guaranteed. Of all the fights, the Tangled Feet is actually the least impactful here. We do a bit of chip damage.
Porygon Z, it does not kill you if you're full HP at +2 SpDef.
Oh, it doesn't? Okay, but we're not full HP ever.
Yeah. The chip actually matters, because minimum roll is 240.
Did you put Life Orb, Adaptability, Modest?
Life Orb, Adaptability, Modest, 252, level 81 Porygon Z, and then 96 Flamigo, minimum roll 240.
Okay.
Maximum roll is 283.
Oh,
Okay,
that actually doesn't kill, because I have like 280 and like 285.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If you're max HP,
but I was already
HP.
Damaged, so...
Yeah. Because I was curious, because I remember calcing that we lived Hyper Beam, because my route, we tank the Hyper Beam. We call that free setup.
For that. I mean, hey, at least you got a 10% chance to dodge it.
Well, it worked out better for my ending. I forget what my route through the fight was, but I remember we tank the Hyper Beam. It either kills our partner or we tank it with the Flamigo. And then the Porygon Z is a sitting duck the next turn, so you're able to just KO the partner twice.
Oh,
and then you heal the fool, you tank another Hyper Beam, and then it's the sitting duck for the last 2 turns.
Yeah.
I love that. It's just like, yeah, we'll just let you Hyper Beam me.
We did actually figure out what's really funny is that if you may have noticed every single fight, we've always target the left thing first and left the right thing on like just sitting
That
there.
is actually kind of funny. Yeah, you're right.
And I think that's just happenstance, but
yeah, they
it's
always
funny because in Drayton we leave his Dragonite alone, but in Kieran we go for the Dragonite first.
Yeah. So typically it's like the thing that they lead first, because like while Politoed is definitely like still a threat, it's surprisingly like the least threatening thing in his entire team, with like maybe Incineroar on the Rain, but Flare Blitz is still like every single thing is like scary, but it's like Politoed is the least scary thing. So we typically let the least scary Pokemon just stay in play for as long as possible, because I learned the hard way that we should not...
whatever they send out second should be super effective against something on our side. So if they just happen to be trying to target the Flamigo, it's just like, yeah, we'll get rid of that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's also really funny that Porygon Z will always Hyper Beam you, despite the fact that it has both Thunderbolt and Ice Beam in its moveset.
It knows the fun move and it goes for it, and I respect it. It is stronger, so it's probably just going for strongest move.
Yeah, it's probably just being like, no, maybe our +2 special defense doesn't kill
move.
Thunderbolt.
But remember, there's always a
kill.
random chance that these fights just go off the rails. Also, funny enough, since this DLC is obviously double battle focused, the double battle AI did get overhauled during this like patch update. That does affect the base game in like the battles in which like Arven is the partner. I got another input dropped. Cool.
Ooh.
So to explain that AI change, something weird happened with the AI, which had a few interesting changes. And one of the more interesting changes was specifically Arven likes to go for, I think the AI just likes to go for support moves more. And so Arven sometimes goes for Life Dew in the first fight, which actually
on the cloth.
On the cloth,
super
which
bad.
Actually sucks, because if it
Super
doesn't
bad.
go for if it doesn't go for Water Gun or Leer, you do not 2-hit KO with Wing Attack plus Low Kick if you have like low attack. You have to be like plus attack, high attack to even get that range.
And the other thing where it matters is in one of Rhyme's gym battles, MC Sledge has the Drift Blim, which normally would have gone for self-destruct, and you would always win the fight in one turn. Now, he like rarely goes for self-destruct, and the Hawlucha is a range when attacking the other Pokemon, the Sableye.
Yeah.
So now you always have to YOLO the range, and if you miss it, you lose a turn, because in the old strat, if you would just be like, okay, I won't go for the range and I'll let the balloon self-destruct. Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore.
They changed the AI to make us not cowards. Go for the range, you win.
Yeah, go for the range.
At least in
my
this category,
Hawlucha did hit the range, by the way.
Nice.
at least in this category, it's slightly nicer because we do have a little bit of a different reroute in the any percent portion, where if you do any percent, you normally do the Ghost Gym before the Fairy Base, but actually due to our high level Flamigo, we can do the same strat without the proteins because of our higher level. So we actually do the Fairy Base first, then the Ghost Gym.
Which matters because Hawlucha, with the Experience Charm, does gain a level between catching it and not just that battle, on Sableye exactly. In fact, we gained the level up after beating the Drifblim on that battle.
That's super
Does
lucky.
depend on the level, because if you're lower level, you just get it earlier. But yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you catch the highest level Hawlucha, you will always get the level up at the last second. So it's nice to just gain an extra level for free.
Yeah, that's what the Lucha does. That's why Lucha is like very important. You pick up an extra acrobatics TM to teach it, essentially as a second acrobatics spawner. People more ask, like, why don't we get we could have potentially got the Doug Trio to try and do that Ghost Gym trial, Ghost Gym challenge with the Doug Trio and just spam Earthquake. The only reason why that technically does not work is due to restrictions in catching Pokemon. Because while we can catch any Pokemon in this game, any Pokemon that's higher level than the gym badge that we have will just not listen to us. And for Gym 7, that level cap is 55, and the Doug Trio is just naturally 68. So, we can't do the Doug Trio. It would be cool, because
there's also a Levitator on every fight as well, would be the other problem.
The one levitating duo. Yeah, that's also like a bit of.
And the Drifblim and the Haunter. it would not go well if you tried Earthquake
and the
spam.
And the Misdreavus. It will only be good.
Misdreavus. Yeah, kind of unfortunate.
But it is actually useful for the Ghost Gym rematch if you do the Mochi Mayhem speedrun. Which actually, I want to talk about a little fun fact. So you remember the Doug Trio that we struggled to catch? Wanna know funny? What?
I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, it was kind of wild.
Funny?
Very good for
me. Yes, fun fact about Doug Trio.
So, fun fact about Mochi Mayhem. Before you actually start the Indigo Disk, you actually talk to Clavel to start the Scarlet and Violet post game, because that is a requirement. And Clavel gives you a Master Ball, and we just chuck it on Lolan Doug Trio.
But we don't do that here because that would be a 3-minute cutscene for no reason.
Well, actually 2 minutes, but yes.
Okay, so we are back in Area 0, to which, I mean, everybody loves Area 0. The music, fire. Absolutely fire in this region. Funny enough, what we missed is we get scolded by, the champion Enrica for coming to the Area 0 the first time, because remember, we kind of did do that without permission from anyone, and yeah, they weren't too happy, but it's like, okay, it kind of well worked out. And I guess now that we are experienced in Area 0, Briar is like apparently obsessed with some readings of some Terastallized energy. I don't know, Briar gives me some very sus vibes. So instead of coming here with our original companions, we are now here with our new companions and Briar, which, by the way, Briar has no Pokemon. Like, that is a canonical fact. She has no Pokemon, because as we dive deeper into Area 0 here, it is, like, known that, like, Kieran and Carmine are, like, helping to fight some battles, and they're kind of struggling. Briar just doesn't have any Pokemon.
It's also the fact that she also just sucks at fights.
No!
Yeah, you did it a little too late. Yeah, so a little thing about the gliding mechanic in this game that many people might actually not know about is the fact that however long you actually are gliding, when you dismount...
Okay, close enough.
When you dismount...
I got the cutscene there. That's actually cool.
Yeah, so when you stop gliding, you cannot re-glide for the amount of time that you were gliding. So if you glide for 10 seconds and then drop the glide, you cannot re-enable the glide for another 10 seconds.
I miss Super Glide.
Yeah, that mattered a lot more with the Super Glide thing. Great.
So, yeah, now it's time for...
And this is why the whole category is called the Indigo Disk, because we got a key item called the Indigo Disk. It's a CD. It's this thing that like 90 kids use to listen to music. Y'all wouldn't understand.
I thought it was a DVD, but I guess it's just me.
Anyway,
Anyway,
like you're
it's a
trying to make
disc.
a joke about being like Indigo or something, like a '90s commercial or something.
It is kind of funny. I would make a joke about like we're using the Indigo Disk for my mixtape, so I can listen to Blink 182 and Linkin Park and Sum 41, and I'd be like, wait, that is literally just 2024. All three of those bands have like new music. There is, in fact, new Blink 182, new Linkin Park, and new Sum 41. And it's, what year is it? Should I frost my tips?
I actually did not know Sum 41 had a song.
Oh, sorry.
It's like good too. Like it's a good new Sum 41 song.
And then me here being the Gen Z person who have no idea what the hell you guys are talking about.
Oh, no. Oh.
Have you played Guitar Hero?
Please don't ask what Guitar Hero is.
No, I know what Guitar Hero is. I know what that is. Come on. Don't give me that.
Okay,
Yeah, so
you don't see it because it's just off the screen here, but I have my entire Rock Band set up like in the box
that's
just
tight.
off to my right here. I have everything including the keyboard, so we can 5-player Rock Band. So y'all can come over and annoy my apartment neighbors.
I know. Don't like. Yeah, I might be Gen Z, but give me a little bit of credit, all right? I don't say the cringe words every single time that something comes up, all right?
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for not saying a certain word that sounds like pheasantipity, but with a different suffix. Like,
Yes.
if you say that, you're banned.
All right, now I feel old because I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
We've got both. We have both sides of the generations
It's
here.
fine. You don't need it. You don't need to know.
Yeah, no. The less you know, the better. Trust
The
me.
better. I don't
Certainly
even know.
better off
I
for
don't
it.
even know if the word Ohio is supposed to be good or bad. I just know that Ohio is Ohio. It's a geographical location in the Midwest.
I'm just gonna say this right now. Ignorance is bliss. Oh god damn it! I just saw this. I saw the thing. Now chat's
All right.
It's infected.
Yeah,
dude.
church. Yeah, church. Just close chat. Close chat.
I'm shocked
Look,
there's no global emote about it. Like it's kind of
That is kind of
interesting.
wild. Yeah. We are back in Area Zero. We're taking the elevator down. The last time we were here, which was how many hours ago was that, Crisis? It was
roughly
just
about
3
the
hours
6
ago.
hour
Not
mark.
a little over 3 hours ago. 3
You're
hours
just-
ago. Were you here 3 hours ago?
You're
we
just
were
about
in-
to get there in the 2.5x playthrough.
Yeah, so we went to the time machine room, which in my game it's Professor Toro, in your game it's Professor Sada. Is like the end game there, and we defeated the professor. Yeah, we can't go to that room anymore. It's very mysterious, but instead we took the elevator further down. And now we are going to learn the gimmick of the Area Zero Underdepth, which is the Stellar type, which I don't think was actually really a thing in VGC. It has something to do with like every move is stab, but only once now.
Yeah. For about 10 seconds, I thought you were about to say now you have your bench Pokemon up to 8, but
Oh yeah. Well, that's if you're using the Terrapagos deck, which is actually pretty good. You use the Noctowl as a good engine as well. But
By the way, I'm gonna
there's a
leave
new
the
card in
commentary
TCG
team
called the
after
Area
this.
Zero Underdepths, and it says if you have a Terra Pokemon in play, you can actually have 8 Pokemon on your bench instead of 5. And if it worked like that in the game, that means we would be allowed to carry 9 Pokemon in our party, but only if one of them was Terra'd at that time. I don't know how that mechanic translates from game to game. I'll leave that interpretation up to
For the
you.
5 people who understood the TCG reference, congratulations.
The T-Pat, you
make
said
it
we're
simple.
below Area 0 right now, right?
Yes, this is the
Yes.
Underdepth.
So you could say we're in Area -1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, area -1. I agree.
Oh.
So we will have these battles where all of these Pokemon will Stellar Terra, aka they get a little turtle hat.
Yeah. So
Be
if
a
you
little-
want
little
to know
turret.
what the Stellar Tail, I do know exactly how it works. It basically doesn't matter too much, but essentially, defensively, nothing changes. This Rock Poison Glamora is still a Rock Poison Glamora, so we're just gonna use the false combat. However, offensively, it's a little bit interesting. We're never really gonna see that, but essentially, they get the boost to their stabs by 50% and their non-stab by 20%, but only once. After that, they don't get ever again. So it's only really useful for like a big thing. Also, yes, technically this wouldn't be area -1. This would be area number 65,535.
Oh,
This isn't
yeah.
Gen 1, come on.
Yeah,
Surely they
we've
fixed that by now.
underflowed Area 0.
Oh no, we're so high. We're too high.
Yeah, but that's
So we'll have a few battles like that. The next one is actually a little scary. It's a Noivern, and if it does roll plus speed, it will outspeed me. Do y'all see what HP I'm at right now?
I actually wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it's like
think
40.
no, you're still about that 200 area-ish.
No,
Again,
I'm at 40. I'm at 40 HP.
Oh, okay, that's gonna be. So you can heal if you want to play it safe, or if you just want to gamble.
Nah, that would
we
be
have
no
revives.
fun.
I'm sure we have revives, right?
Oh, we have revives. We do have a few revives.
Well, we do have revives, but I don't have anybody else alive in my party right now, so I would wipe.
So this is like a 1 in 5
That is true,
chance
actually.
to wipe. Is that what I'm hearing?
Wiping would be kind of funny, but
You could
also
also
bad,
just
so-
heal right now. You can press
I
the
also
start
could,
button,
but
press the minus button.
where's the fun in that?
All right.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't heal, so he would have to heal in the fight, which is not great. Mainly, all these Pokemon here, also, we're done with double fight. There's no more double fights for the rest of the game. I should probably mention that. All these Pokemon...
That was just a Blueberry Academy thing.
Yeah. Have random natures, random IVs, and if we roll a certain unfortunate number of them, this Noivern will outspeed. We still don't know if this Noivern outspeeds you because it could speed tie you.
True.
Which
I did
would
get the
be
first
funny if it
acrobatics
does
off, which
in
is
Manza
good.
Hurricane.
It also has a non-damaging move, so
It has
it
two.
could go first and then just choose to not do it, so
Yeah.
it's fine. All right,
Nice.
that was the only threatening thing, and now we're good from here until
If
the
you believe
very,
hard enough, Hurricane's
very
also
last
not
fight
a
of the game.
damaging move.
Yeah. It has two non-damaging moves in Tailwind and Roost, and it has two damaging moves in Hurricane and Boom Burst.
I hate to break it to you, but Tailwind would not help you out, right?
No. Because if it does that whole Terra breakout animation thing, then it just skips its turn, so Tailwind
Oh,
wouldn't
okay,
really
okay.
help.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Tailwind
loses a
would-
turn on the Terra break.
Yeah. Terra would only help, well, Tailwind will only help a Noivern if it's speed tie you, won the speed tie, and use Tailwind.
There's usually a Glamet right in that spot, so you have to be a little careful.
Yeah. The rest is pretty easy. Next up, we're going to be seeing in Violet, Iron Thorns, and in Scarlet, you would see a Sandy Shocks instead. Thankfully for Iron Thorns is better for Violet because, you know, you can just low kick it.
Yeah,
whereas,
low kick.
Sandy Shocks, you have to kind of close combat and lose.
AKA the Pokemon TCG World Champion.
Did
Yeah,
hands
that is true.
Yeah. So a deck that only ran 4 Iron Thorns EX won the World Championship this past year. It's really dumb. It's a form of control. It basically says, yeah, all of your other Pokemon, they basically don't have abilities.
Yeah. It is kind of fun. It's an interesting thing.
It is not fun. Do not.
Hey, look, depending on what deck you're playing, it's actually a fun matchup.
Yeah, you play Lugia and you just auto win. And then you say,
Maybe
I'm
the
having
Lugia
fun.
player should have adapted
No one else is
to
having
Iron
fun.
Thorns.
Well, then Lugia should be playing Fluttermane in their deck.
True, but why would Lugia play Fluttermane in their deck?
Because
Make
they
their deck
don't get
worse.
counted by Iron Thorns. That's literally the reason.
Yeah. This is bad.
Skill issue. Your fault for not teching.
You know what Pokemon is probably one of the best Pokemon in TCG right now? Ogerpon.
Yeah, that is actually true.
Ogerpon is literally broken in the current TCG.
I was told we're not supposed to talk about Ogerpon at all for how many hours? It's only a few more hours, Keith.
Yeah, Heck is going to like just cut me off right here.
I guess we're apparently not.
It's like 48 hours. You can do it. You can hold
Which
on.
could be a bit of a struggle when it comes to my segment, but we'll worry about that later. Anyway, one final Pokemon that we have to beat up.
I do need to know this. Like, there's some lore that okay. I kind of did that really awkwardly. There's some lore that I don't know if is explained, but like, there's this tree. There's this like Terra tree here, and it's just not explained why. Anybody have any theories as to why there's this?
I have a really dumb one. You want to hear it?
Terrestrialized tree.
This is the same tree that everyone complained about in Sword and Shield, and so it ran away here.
Oh, the Dyna tree?
No, just the bad tree that everyone complained about in the beginning of Sword and Shield. You know, when they saw the tree, it's like, oh my god, the game's graphics suck.
Oh, that one?
Yeah, that one.
Well,
it ran away
this
here.
This tree definitely has 0 FPS going for it. Like, this tree is not moving.
I mean, they could have picked a lot weird. Like, it could have been like a crystal trash bin. You know, like, at least it's something that makes sense. Like a tree, it's like, it fits the vibe.
Also, no.
Oh, Meowstic was alive. I was fine.
Yeah, Meowstic was alive. That was fine. It's just that if Flamigo did die, I would have to remind you to not use the max revive. That is
the
very
max
important.
revive. Yeah, duh. So
You
we
only
are
have
done with
one,
all
and
these
it's
little
very
like
important.
Terra types. It was just kind of like the introduction to what's going to happen. So we are about to get introduced to this DLC's legendary, known as Terrapagos. He's just a little guy. In fact, he's just a little turtle, but he's very cute, and he has some very funny abilities, and his Terra form is terrifying. It is we have to terrestrialize against the big Terrapagos because any attack that is not a terrestrialized attack does only 20% damage.
Keep out. We're one fight too early. There is one fight.
Yeah, I just want to
to
explain that now because like it will matter when we see it.
I will say, I
so-
find it really weird with the Terrapagos, how it's like, it has the baby form or whatever, but you can never battle with it, right?
It's true.
You can only battle... Wait, does neutralizing gas make it so you can fight the baby form? I don't actually know.
No, I believe neutralizing gas. If this is one of the few abilities that overrides neutralizing gas.
Yeah, it's really weird. But like, you
I
can't
didn't
fight
even know
full
that.
baby form.
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny because there was actually like a bug that people thought was intended, and they thought that photosynthesis and I believe it's cork drive for the future ones. For some reason, they worked under neutralizing gas for a time period,
that's
but then it
interesting.
was actually figured out that that's a glitch. So, and they patched it.
Oh. Okay, and so here is officially the Area 0 underdepths. This is the bottom floor.
-2 or 65,533.
Yeah.
Correct.
53, Shen. Come on, do the numbers right.
I mean, to be fair, we
You
both
messed
just
up the
agreed
joke.
with you
Come on.
saying that it's right.
The timing was good too, and you messed it up. Come on. Sorry, guys. I'm back. I'm ready.
Yeah, you're back. Okay. You're back from commentary underflow.
I had to psych myself up a bit. Sorry. Sometimes I choke a bit on commentary, and it happens.
Oh, that's a Legend of Zelda rupee, isn't it?
Yeah. Sure is.
Huh. Didn't realize
Those
that
are
was
the ones that are
good.
worth
It's funny
100, right?
when you catch the ogre pond, I swear it does a run da 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 like sound, and I'm like, hey,
They put some
I
flavor
recognize
on
that
it.
from somewhere.
Keep at, try not stop saying that word. I think Tech is gonna, come up and mute you if you do that. We're not allowed to mention, I believe, the green friend yet.
Oh, the green friend is fine.
We have Tech in our ear talking about the Ogerpon as we speak.
Hey, who do you think is the cuter legendary Pokemon, Ogerpon or Terrapagos? And if you've not seen Terrapagos, you're gonna see this little guy in a second, and you might want to reconsider how cute this little guy is.
Also, Terrapagos' lore is kind of sad if you think about it, because even though Terrapagos is, 50, according to the data, 50-50 to be male or female, this Terrapagos is always male. And it's the last of its kind. It's actually based off a real-life turtle, which they found out that it was only male, and so it was going to be extinct very soon. So
look at the little guy.
Same thing.
With the little starry eyes.
Is it time for Kieran to hold the 19th L of the series?
Yes. So
okay,
Kieran, who is obviously going mentally crazy, is just like, no, I want the legendary Pokemon. So he just straight up backstrikes this dude with a Master Ball.
I mean,
he wanted to be sure.
This should work. Like, I feel for him here, because that's not just a Master Ball, that's a backstrike Master Ball. That's a backstrike Master Ball. That's a double catch rate. And it shook 3 times? Oh, okay. He did get it. We're good. Exactly. Never mind. Let's go, Kieran.
And now Kieran will battle us immediately.
And now it's time actually to explain a very, very interesting phase, like, before the big bad happens. So here we actually are going to be using X attack, and we do actually have to be careful Flamingo's HP. We don't have to worry about it too much because we do have full HP right now because we got a free heal. Thanks, game. And what we're going to do is we are going to X attack and acrobatics twice. And this is actually planned really well because the first acrobatics is not going to do over half HP, and the second one will. This skips the flavor text from Briar, which has like special text if you get half HP, which is really nice.
Oh, there's flavor text everywhere.
Unless you crit, in which
the
case...
Terra Shift ability is basically multi-scale, but better.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of having the damage, it makes it so your attack is just simply not very effective, no matter what its effectiveness would have been.
Yeah, and if you have like a multi-hit move, even the successive hits are obviously affected by being not very effective instead of just multi-scale being broken.
Yeah. So fun little fact. Yeah, you acrobatics here first. A fun little fact about this: Ghost will still be immune.
Yeah.
Then headbutt. That's cringe. So now we have to max revive. Max.
Not max revive. No.
No, max potion.
We could actually win from here. In fact, it only takes one more hit. But the thing is, for one of the few times in the game, we're actually not full healed in between. That kind of stinks, but we'll roll with it. We do not get a heal between this battle and the next battle. So my remaining health is what I'm going to enter the next battle with. That health isn't great, but there's not really much I can do about it.
No.
How many battles are left,
I would just be losing time because I'm always going to get hit with headbutt unless he magically misses. By the way, I have never dodged a Zen Headbutt against that phase of Kieran. I don't know what it is. I've literally never dodged a Zen Headbutt there.
Yeah.
And it's not worth like trying to get like a favorable roll. It's just, you just got to go with it.
Yeah. This is like the one, it's the one of the few times you actually need to heal and keep in mind of your HP because you do get a bit of a heal going into this next fight, but only 25% of your health specifically. Thanks, Finisher.
So here, Briar eggs Kieran on to actually Terra the Terrapagos, and now we have like a full-on raid battle on our hands here. And the Terrapagos' gimmick, it actually has multiple gimmicks. One, it sets up a barrier where any non-terastallized attacks only do 0.2 times as much damage, whereas a terastallized attack will be 2 times. So we are basically going to do like 100 times or like 10 times as much damage when we're terastallized. We will only be able to terastallize after dealing damage twice against it. So then on the third turn of each phase, we'll be able to terastallize, in which we will effectively have to do for every single phase of the battle. Finally, the final gimmick is that its actual type will change for each phase. It'll start normal, it goes psychic, and then water. And because of the psychic phase, it matters what Terra type we are, where flying is fine, and then we will use Flamigo as I will do here. If you end up with the Fighting Terra, you actually have to use Miraidon and Terra type. Otherwise, you just won't do enough damage.
Miraidon/Koraidon, depending on which version of the game you are playing. But also, there is one final gimmick that you didn't actually mention. Every time, you might be asking, hey, why don't we just spam X items and just sweep the entire thing? As me and Shen found out the hard way, every time it resets the phase, or like, you know, it gains another Terra Shield, all stats are reset back to 0. Which, funnily enough, the Miraidon strat actually abuses this, funnily enough, because we Draco Meteor.
Yeah, with Draco Meteor. Yeah, it's interesting. You can kind of think of this as 3 fights. Like, each is a distinct fight where all the, like, progress or whatever gets wiped between turns, or between the fights.
Yeah. So here, let's see. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
We got...
Not on
That's
Sinistra.
a big bullet there. So usually the Trapagos will go for Terra Star Shower, which tends to do, or Terra Starstorm. Watch my health here, and it will probably drop by about half. Almost. A little less than half in that case. So if I get Terra Starstorm twice, it's a range to kill me in phase 1. So to see Zen Headbutt into not me is excellent.
Well,
if
to be fair, it was never going for you.
I actually have to burn a turn healing.
Well, okay, it was going for you, but that Zen Headbutt was followed lead, so... Or Rage Powder,
Rage Powder.
Yeah.
Carmine,
that was lucky.
That's the first time Carmine's ever been useful.
Yeah, Carmine
as
actually
a
helped
partner.
a lot there.
Yeah. Carmine has 2 useful moves
too.
in Life Dew and
Rage Powder. Well, Rage Powder
is sometimes
Zen
useful, but in this case, we actually finally saw the first time where...
And by the way, there you see that whole phase just go away.
Right. Now I want to talk about something really, really funny. This Zen Headbutt is the funniest thing ever. Because this Zen Headbutt that's going to happen between turns is always programmed to hit Sinistra, always hit, do 9,999 damage to the Sinistra, and ignore anything that would prevent this from being KO'd. Focus Sash, Dirty, anything. This Sinistra is gonna die, and we are gonna do this next phase on our own, which is sadly also the Psychic phase. So, yeah, the Terra Flying, Terra Fighting debacle is going to matter. Now, what will be really
Sinistra.
Now, what will be really funny, and technically the fast strat, is if Zen Headbutt misses twice.
Yeah,
because then you skip the max revive turn.
I have had Zen Headbutt miss in this phase, but I've had it miss on the unoptimal turns.
Yeah. I've had a really interesting fight where turn 1, I had Zen Headbutt not KO me
I
because
really just wanted
full.
to miss once here because I'm... Oh, wow.
No, you're dead anyway.
Ooh.
No, you're dead. I could have lived that.
Yeah, it gets
no, you are
now,
dead
so it's...
because now it's Psychic type. It actually does more damage.
Oh, yeah, because it gets the stab.
Because this technically plays in the Terra rules, and like the, not Terra rules, the, what's the thing called, the multiplayer thing?
Raid.
The raid battles, yeah. It actually, Terra Stella actually has different rules in a Terra raid battle setting, which is what this is.
Get him, Lechonk!
What it does is it boosts...
Lechonk, it's turn 3. The Terra Orbit's charged up. Now, terrestrialize your Pokemon so it shines once more.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Max revive. No, not the max revive for Lechonk. No.
Yes, that's the strat shenanigans. Yes, that is... The worst thing that could happen is Zen Headbutt miss, which it can go for.
It can go for it, but thankfully it actually... Oh, it crit me. That's funny.
Yeah.
You know what? To be fair, I've sacrificed
so
many Lechonks in my time, I can't say anything. I've sacrificed my fair share, too.
Yeah. How many times do we sacrifice Lechonk in the speedrun? It's like...
it's what?
Like... 6,
it's
I think.
4 times to Nimona.
If you would have watched the first 7 hours of my run prior, you could just count the number of times I sacrifice it.
I'm doing it right now.
One of the Nimonas we sacrificed Crocolore.
Drayton.
Correct.
Oh yeah, -1. So 7, and then Kieran again 8, and then Terrappa. Yeah, it's 9 times. Lechonk dies 9 times in this video.
That's a lot of bacon.
Hey, for T-Pat, sometimes that's 8. And it evolves.
Sometimes it's 8 and it evolves. True.
Yeah.
Sometimes 8.
Well, and if it evolves, then it's only 7 because then we're not sacrificing Lechonk, then we're sacrificing Oinkolo.
I will
That's
say
so true.
one interesting thing about this fight, depending if you are doing the dragon version of the fight that I like to call it, which is either use Koraidon or use Miraidon. Koraidon is actually better to use because you can actually skip the max revive turn because Koraidon actually has enough bulk by itself to survive 2 Zen headbutts. And the main reason that's the case is because Terapagos has a 0.9 multiplier to its physical. It has a 0.9 multiplier to its special attack. It actually only has 15 IVs in its attack compared to 31 every other stat. And yeah, and it also has just lower base attack, so it's actually like more likely for it to survive. Whereas Miraidon can't do that consistently because Earth Power does way too much damage to Miraidon.
Yeah, that's a super effective
Here
move.
I'm gonna click just the faster move.
However, there is something funny, which is the power of love, which does exist in this game. Flamingo never gets it, but your Miraidon Koraidon does have it when you.
Oh,
It
yeah.
always starts with it.
And so it can live.
It does it for that final, like, the you can't lose battle. So that way, if you lose, you will always power of love live, so it has to give that to you. Ooh, okay.
But it is an actual mechanic in the actual video game, which is really cool. Well,
Yeah, I
when I
think
say
it's
really
added
cool,
in,
it
like,
has like
Gen
one
6.
case where it's actually it has a few cases where it's actually useful. We actually didn't see it in the Carmine fight, but it actually can remove the burn status effect, which would have saved time, but sadly he didn't get it either time.
We're, by the way, officially out of the woods here. Like, I just kept holding my breath on, like, every attack, because if you get crit, then you lose, like, multiple turns, having to revive, and such and such.
You lose
But we are
one.
officially out of the woods here, because Phase 4 isn't really Phase 4, because the Terra Shield never comes back up, we never lose our Terra, and Terapagos doesn't change its type for this phase, so this is technically just an extension of Phase 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, charging the Terra is what takes a long time here, not so much the hitting it after you charge Terra.
Yeah. At least in the Scarlet Dragon version of the fight, the damage beforehand does matter because if you could because Koraidon has the unfortunate thing that its best dragon move is Terra Blast.
What Pokeball should I catch it in? The Master Ball?
Chuck it whatever ball is first.
Well, let's think of one that designs well with it, like a bluish ball. Do you have like a net ball or something?
I
Probably
think
not.
Dive
Let's
ball?
see.
Do you have a dive ball?
I think your choice of
I probably
Pokeball,
have
Master Ball.
I probably have Pokeball, Master Ball,
That's it.
and that's it. You know what? The Master Ball's closer because it has that purple.
This is such a
and we
boring
can flex
selection.
on Kieran and be like, look at this. My Master Ball will work. Wink.
I hate speedrunners, dude. They don't have any fun.
I mean, we just mash A.
You just throw whatever's fastest. I'll just throw this one because I have it.
See, Shen, I got you. I actually did an extra input to go to the Master Ball because I was
appreciate that,
default to
though.
Pokeball,
Well,
so I got you.
I mean,
I
I do
got you.
appreciate
If you want to
Thank
be
you.
that person, technically speaking, the ball that happens when you catch our little green friend is actually put to quick ball. So we actually have to like manually not press
Yeah,
quick
you
ball because
you can
quick
get
balls are
away
very
with quick
useful.
ball, with default quick balling the Ogre Pond, but then you have to get the Doug Trio first ball and the quick ball.
Oh, that's
But yeah,
interesting.
that was the Indigo Disk. That was 9 full hours, so make sure you stay hydrated. Time will be
definitely 9
coming
hours.
up on the Fade to Black after all the text boxes here, which I think is going to be in less than a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for having me on, of course, on Hotfix. If you missed any part of this definitely 9-hour run, you will be able to see part of it again on Saturday, to which, again, Direct Relief Done Quick is going to be amazing and a wonderful time. So make sure to tune in to that. And time will be right now.
Let's go.
But yeah,
GG.
thanks.
That is definitely a 9-hour speed run.
Yeah, for anyone who missed
Definitely
the first,
spent 9 hours on Hotfix.
if you missed the first 7 hours, twitch.tv/ Oh, it's TPat_WX, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit of a rebrand.
I did went through a little bit of a rebrand because if you think about it, like all my friends call me T-Pat, so I wanted to reflect that. So yeah, I do really appreciate you having me on. Appreciate all the follows over on my Twitch page. I have been streaming a lot more consistently, especially since GDQ. So it has been great to see everybody come by and hang out. It is obviously so much fun. And I genuinely think that like this speedrun is my favorite Scarlet and Violet speedrun. It has been a blast to see all the double battles and all the strategies. And we get to catch a cool little guy at the end of the run, which of course is amazing. But yeah, as for that little green guy, to which Tech keeps bullying me about, save that thought for this Saturday. We have a nice little plan for the little green guy.
Head empty, green guy Saturday. Gotcha.
But yeah, that's all for me. Crisis is actually up next. He's going to show like the epilogue of this category, which will be super fun.
So instead of catching a green guy or a blue guy, we're getting a purple guy.
Nice. But yeah, I'll hand things back over to Church to send us to a break.
Yeah, so while we get set up for the next run, we're going to take a quick break so everybody can get up, stretch, get some water, anything you need to do. Just a quick reminder before we go to that break. Games Done Quick is hiring. We are looking for an event programming lead that will be responsible for the 10,000-foot view of our mainline event schedules. If you are interested or know someone that is, you can go to gamesdonequick.com for more information. Also, we do have an official GDQ Discord. You can add the hotfix role. You can keep up to date on all of our events like that. You can keep tabs on everything, talk to staff, and more. You can use exclamation Discord in Twitch chat for more information. We're going to take a quick break, and we will take a quick break and be back with more Pokemon, and maybe I'll be able to talk better. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. Today, we are showcasing some Pokemon games. We are off the tail end of an Indigo Disk speedrun that we definitely watched all 9 hours of. We're going to be doing the Mochi Mayhem speedrun. I'll hand it right over to you to let everybody reintroduce themselves.
Yes, hi, I'm Chrysosaurus. I pretty much know this game off to the back of my head, and I'm joined by two people who have never seen this category done ever. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm one of two people that have never seen this category.
Also one of the people that both has an underscore in their name and...
I really take after you, Shen. Big fan.
I know. What?
So, I'm going to start this right now because there's 12 minutes of dialogue, so let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go!
And if you're just joining us live on Hotfix, we have definitely been doing this run for 10 hours, 15 minutes, and 52 seconds. You didn't miss anything. You really didn't miss anything.
Yeah, so in the 6 minutes that we had the break, we went an hour forward. We jumped to Scarlet version, because of course we did. And we also beat every single gym leader again. And if you want to know how those fights go, I could just tell you we spam acrobatics literally every single time, and that's literally how those fights went.
I heard one of them was at least like interesting.
So yes, we are still using Flamigo, and there are some little fun facts about this Flamigo once I remember where the hell I have to fly again. Actually, I do know where I have to fly. It's called my home, because that's where the next part of the story actually happens. Because in terms of story, we are now getting Arvin, Nimona, and Penny decides to just show up to my house and just invite themselves, because of course they do. And after that, we will then be going to Kitakami, because that's where the entire plot happens. So I guess, T-Pat, you're going to be happy because we're going to be seeing Kitakami. But
yes, I love Kitakami.
But thankfully, our tech's going to be happy because we're not going to be seeing that green ogre.
You know what I'm just excited about? Just to see my three favorite companions in this game again, because I really did miss them. I mean, I had to hang out with Carmine and Kieran a lot, and Kieran kind of scares me. Not as much as Carmine. Carmine just yells at me all the time. Seeing these three, what a breath of fresh air.
So, I want to give a bit mention of Flamigo. Flamigo is level 100, so it reached level 100 during one of the gym fights. I believe it's Psychic rematch where we reached level 100.
Is it more or less fast than when Shen gets level 100 before the first trainer?
I am going to need context on that because I do not know what's
your PB in that run there, Shen?
I think I get to level 100 faster than the
I think you do because it does take us 10. Just take us 10
Yeah,
and a half
Shen just
hours to
gets
get-
six Zigzagoons and with pickup, and then just farms rare candies.
Yeah, so we get to level 100 about the half 9 hour mark, I believe, or something along those lines. I don't remember. But what I do remember, is actually in the gym leader rematches portion, which we're not showcasing off here because we've technically done that during our 6-minute break. Is the fact that actually which order you do the gyms do actually matter, which, fun little fact, level 100 matters for the Iono rematch, which is really funny.
That's funny because we fight Iono first.
Yeah, in the rematches, we fight her last. The reason why is that Luxray low kick is guaranteed at level 100 and nothing else. So we
You
we
could close
absolutely
combat
want
it.
to
Come on.
You can double
We
kick
actually
it.
Minus
wanna
4
do that.
seconds.
last. And then after, we don't want to close combat because then there's Electrode and Miss Magus we have to deal with. Which we do outspeed, but it's like, we don't want to get hit by anything. Especially the fact that the Electrode has static, which 30% chance to paralyze. Not fun. And then
We also run
once we do
Felicia.
that, yeah, so after we do the whole gym leader rematches, we then do something called the Academy Ace tournament, which is we do 4 fights. We fight Arven again, which if you know how the fight goes in any percent, it is the exact same fight again.
Okay.
We then fight Jacques and Dendra. The fights can be summarized as spam acrobatics, nothing else. And then we fight Gita again, which, if you remember the any percent strat for Gita, I did not mean to talk to you. The
Which
any
is
percent strat for
simple.
Gita-
Like Gita's a pushover in any
Yeah,
percent.
it's the exact same strat again.
That
Like-
one's like almost just spam low kick, but you sometimes have to use your brain.
So
Yes.
sometimes you have to select a different move. And I
Yeah,
love
so
that in this
once-
category, since we're even higher level
Yeah.
than normal any percent, we don't even have to use close combat as frequently, so it's even faster.
Yeah. And one final thing to mention is that after you do that, we then get a mystery gift item to actually even start this plotline. This does mean that if you are ever doing the speedrun, you do need to have your profile connected to a Nintendo account. Believe me, I've learned that the hard way. I've done an entire 9-hour runs up to Mochi Mayhem.
Oh.
And then I realized that I didn't have my Nintendo account linked, and guess who had to do another 9-hour run again? Just to get back to you. Not fun. At all. Well, I know, it was fun, but
Do
it's
you
just
get more than one per account? Like more than one of these mystery gifts per account? Or do you have to remake accounts for this?
oh no, you can do one. You can it's infinite. So as long as you delete the save data, you can just get it again. It's,
Gotcha, okay.
Also, I don't believe they have an expiry date, so they will expire when the Nintendo Online servers go down. So you have until then to do the speedrun.
Hey, let's go.
So it is limited time to do the speedrun.
It's true.
You also need 11 hours, but that part you can definitely work around.
If you're slow enough and you get to 12 hours by speedrun.com rules, you're allowed, I think it's a 12-hour break. So just don't be fast enough to get 11 hours and you're good.
Yeah. So the plot now we're gonna essentially, well, we haven't got to like what the main reason of why it's called Mochi Mayhem yet, but you'll find it extremely obvious the moment we get there. There's gonna be like something funky happening with some of the NPCs. Also, this is the point where Penny realizes that how does Kieran survive without a phone? Yes,
You mean
Kieran does not
Arvin?
have a mobile phone.
Or Kieran.
Dude, that thing saves you from so many falls. I agree
Yeah.
with Benny. Like, how do you survive without the phone that could levitate whenever you fall?
Oh no, I jumped off this cliff.
Oh, I'm
Rotom
fine.
phone.
Rhythm's got me.
In fact, Rotom phone can warp you right back up the cliff.
True.
Yeah. So how does Kieran survive in this mountainous area without a phone is definitely something we're gonna have to examine.
He never skips leg day.
If this is desktop TikTok, I'm gonna lose my mind. That's the only way he's made it, man.
I mean, is Kieran actually Gen Z?
I don't know.
Does he say all the banned words?
Well, he doesn't have a phone, so he might not even have access to that. That
True,
app, so.
You're right. So okay,
It's
so he's
Penny
probably in
who
like
would
the
know
good
those
part of
words,
Gen
actually.
Z. That if he ever learns of the words, he'll say it ironically and
Like,
not
it's
seriously.
actually Penny who will probably actually say it like religiously.
No, but
Yeah,
Penny's,
no, yeah, yeah, I
Penny's
get that
smarter. No, Penny
No,
does
but
not
Penny
give me
wants
that
to fit
vibe
in. Penny
because
wants to fit in.
I guess, but like, so I also found this out yesterday. Penny is Peony's daughter. You know, Peony from Sword and Shield.
Yes.
Penny's his daughter. But like, because Peony is like so outlandish, where he's like, yeah, let's go on a fun adventure, and then his kids are like, no, Dad, I don't want to do that. that does not sound like fun. You are adventurer.
Also, T-Pat, you know how scary Kieran was when we had to fight him?
Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah, during the time that we flew from there to here, Nimona trashed Kieran.
Yes, our true rival in true form. Nimona's the best. Nimona's high up on my rival ranking. I know people don't like Nimona, but I think she's at least B+ tier.
Dude, how does she win that? Like, thinking of her team, how?
Speaking of
Dragonite
team, you're gonna find
trashes.
something really funny later. But also, here's Carmine. Nothing crazy is happening with her. She just has purple eyes.
Hi,
You know, it's just normal.
definitely normal.
Yeah, definitely normal.
Why is she
behavior.
doing the chicken dance? I can hear it now. It's one of the worst things in the world.
Wow. I hope
So
you
there's
like that dance. You're gonna be seeing a lot of that
hypnotizing
today.
Mochi? Is that what this is?
Yes. So she had. So as I'm gonna spoil the entire plot right now, because why not? Petra has this this setting around these mochis, these purple mochis, which effectively puts them on his mind control.
Okay.
Is this the subjugating chains I've heard so much about?
Yes. And it's the first of many chicken dances.
Oh boy.
But don't, and also you guys can't hear it because screen share, but they actually have a interesting theme going on as well when you listen to it. You guys can't hear it, but if you're in Twitch chat, you'll be able to hear it. And also you'll be able to hear at the very end the best fight music in this game.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. I do love the music in this game. It's good.
I am going to grab it so that the people in my call can then listen to it. Because let's face it, we still have a little bit more dialogue to go through. Because if Scarlet and Violet is known for one thing, it is the amount of dialogue boxes that it has.
If Scarlet and Violet is known for one thing,
it's also known for
it's not frame rate.
that is also true. It's known for a lot of things, but in a speedrun, speaking of frame rate, make sure I do that so that it doesn't lag. Yeah, I looked the camera down just to make sure that
So the worst areas frame rate in the game are the fag tree thicket and the crystal pool.
Yeah.
There's a couple other spots, but those are definitely the two that you visit in the speedruns.
Alright, so we grab this.
The lake sometimes is pretty bad.
We do that, we do this.
Yeah, at Castle Royale Lake, when you're going over the Dondozo, like you fight the phase 1 and you're going to phase 2, you can save 7 seconds if you angle your camera properly, but then it's harder to see the Pokemon in front of you, but you don't get any lag. So it's like a really funny trade-off.
And sometimes you're just screwed if the game just decides rain.
True, yeah.
Yeah, you just auto lose if it's raining at the lake.
Yeah. Welcome to would you like your game to be a slideshow? If so, have rain there.
I'm trying to remember which Castlevania game is the one that's just like, yeah, this game runs on like 6.3 FPS.
We just need to figure out like how DK64 runners have learned to just weaponize the lag, and we need to take that energy and just reapply it to our Scarlet Violet speedruns.
Anyway, I was about to find out.
That's why Scarlet Violet speedrun so bad.
And now Nimona goes missing. which is now we have to find her, which is great.
Wait, we found a remote control.
We found the TV remote. So essentially, the whole gimmick was that, oh, we can't believe that this TV's only showing like advertisements of the local area. And it's like, oh yeah, but he hit the remote somewhere. So, you know, we have to now find the remote, and now we did. And everyone's like, hey, we could do this with the TV. We could play video games or watch stuff. Well, I don't know. But then we figure out that Nemona's missing.
That's definitely not anything illicit. That's beyond Penny's days.
No, Penny's the one who wants to play video games.
Yeah.
So now,
I don't know, I feel like
Kieran
Penny's
comes
a
with us
sports
because,
gambler.
like I said, he doesn't have a phone, so he has to kind of come with us.
You think Penny is like into Fortnite? Or like, you know, like Apex? You know, like those hyper competitive esports games. Like, I feel like Penny would kind of rock at that.
I get it. She does have.
Nimona strikes me more as like a Rocket League player, though.
She does actually have a sick gaming setup in her room.
Huh.
If you actually ever go to her room. So we are now finally done with the 12 minutes of dialogue, and we can now go into the first of many multi-fight. Who wants to explain how a multi-fight works?
Neither of us know how a multi-fight works. You got this.
So that's all you. Oh my goodness, it's a Torchic dance.
Oh
Yes,
god,
so-
what is this?
If you remember, multi-battles are a thing that exists in Pokemon, which is essentially, it's a 2-on-2, but I have no control of what Kieran does with his Pokemon.
Oh, it's a true double.
Yeah.
Or true double, I guess. Multi is like the official
the
thing,
true
so-
double.
I guess it's a true double.
We just always
So-
called it true
Yeah.
double because that's what Jen said.
When you said multi-fight, I thought of like the Sun and Moon, like
Sorry, I guess I'm using the
of
wrong
like
term.
the
Anyway,
ring.
the first one is not that bad. We're just gonna handle everything on the left and right. Oh, look, we got a critical hit.
Nice crit.
You want to know something funny? Really, the left trainer does not have crit or super effective text. Only the right one does.
What?
Let's go. That was optimal.
That's ridiculous. No way. That's unreal. And he doesn't even proc if Kieran does the super effective hit. Oh, that's so.
They do proc if Kieran does it, but
Oh, okay.
it's just
just
the
not
left
weak
trainer
to-
doesn't have it. The right one does. It's the only fight like this.
That's so strange.
So here we're gonna hope that Poliwrath. So thankfully Poliwrath did exactly what we wanted to do, which is knock out the Ariados. So now the Noctowl is gonna come in. Sadly there is no Terra Pokemon, so no Dual Seeking. So we're just gonna knock it out instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also convenient.
I can't believe LeBron James forgot to have a Terra Pokemon in play in order to dual seek.
Yeah. So
Yeah, a
now
little
we
bit of
have.
optimization there. You may not have noticed was using the Poliwrath to KO the thing that we didn't have a move to do anything to, because we would either have the acrobatics or close combat, which close combat would be 4x resisted. So kind of a cool way to do that fight that you may not have noticed.
Yeah, so that's the first of 5 fights that we're going to do, and the first of 3 true doubles that we're going to have to do. This one's obviously the most simplest one because they're just 2 random trainers. And, yeah, so continuing on the plot, more and more people are getting somewhat possessed.
Infected. You think they're gonna have to like quarantine Kitakami? There's only like 1 city.
Maybe, who knows. Anyway,
They can go up and stare at the lake and be in a hyperbolic time chamber until a cure gets found. Time just moves at like 180th speed.
So here we're gonna fly. Instead of run to the place, we're gonna fly, and then we're just gonna hold down, and there we are. That's the trigger for the next cutscene and next fight, which is spoiler alert: Kieran's grandfather and grandmother.
Oh, the mask makers.
Yep.
So do you go to the crystal pool in this section of the
We
speedrun?
do not go to the crystal pool at all.
So you can't get close enough to do the secret ending.
I mean, if we have time afterwards, I can just rush there.
There's this cool secret ending where you get to time warp the real professor to the crystal pool, and it's actually kind of interesting. And Crisis showed me this the other day, where in your conversation with the professor, you tell him the name of the legendary Pokemon. So in my case, it's like, yeah, this is Miraidon. He's like, oh yes, Miraidon, that's such a good name. But if you remember at the beginning of the game, he actually tells us that its name is Miraidon, but he was remembering us telling him from the future.
Yeah. Welcome to a time loop where the events of this game does not happen unless we do the DLC and go up to the top. It's really interesting the fact that this game has a time travel theme with the past and future, and it has a time loop.
It reminded me of like Doctor Who, so now I can only think of Professor Turo is actually just the Doctor.
So the second fight is kind of can be a bit annoying. The Arbok does have Intimidate. Thankfully, in this category, even if we have the wrong ability, we actually make a detour to a shop and buy an ability capsule to make our ability scrappy.
Ability capsule. So what was your Flamigo? Was it in fact a Tangle
Here we're
Feet?
gonna knock out the Arbok because we don't want to deal with it. This Poliwrath can really do anything.
So we just slowly and surely just make this Flamigo perfect.
Yeah, so this Chandelure is absolutely going to be, if I'm not mistaken, going to be using Energy Ball, which means if this Poliwrath goes for Belly Drum, which it didn't, I don't think that's knocking it out. No. So that's fine. And we're going to see super effective text. Thanks.
Wow, way to go. And of course, the super effective text is just Mochi.
Yes. Because they are possessed, Poliwrath is going to live. Unfortunately, as much as I would like to Liquidation the Acrobatics the Wheezing, it's actually better that I actually Acrobatics the Chandelure here. Mainly because we can't Acrobatics the Wheezing because we don't actually kill it, so we're just going to have to... Hopefully that Poliwrath does the chip damage that we want it to do, which it's doing, which is nice. That's enough chip damage for us to knock it out, but before we actually knock it out, we are going to also make sure that we low kick the... What is it? The Mammoth Swine that's coming out. Also, yes, we're going to get more text because we love text. That happens when, why does that text happen? I think it's when you get hit or something. So if we don't ever get hit, we never see that text, and that never happens.
Funny that Kieran talks when you
I
get
did
hit
not
and
mean
not
to
when
low kick the
he gets
Poliwrath.
hit.
Oops.
Oh, you just wait. Yeah, you did that. I'm like, wait a second. Are
That
you doing
was an
some crazy strat? No.
This might be bad,
I
actually.
think this might be a that. You might live though.
No. All right, Karen, you're gonna have to take it over.
Yeah,
No, this is a true double, which means that I'm not gonna die until Kieran has his entire team wiped.
Oh, that's right. You don't have a second Pokemon to revive with. He can't revive
You
your
might win
Pokemon.
this
All right.
one.
No, I will
Like,
still win this. This
Kieran
fight is
might
free.
win.
It's just I made the dumb mistake. I made a really dumb mistake. I misinputted.
Listen, I can't believe you are so obsessed with kicking his butt that you literally KO'd its own Pokemon in a double battle.
Or pick the right target here.
Don't worry, he has an entire team. It's gonna be fine.
Oh, it's 6 Mons. Oh, dude, this is sick.
It is 6 Mons.
Oh, the Flamplets into Citrus Berry range? This is Citrus popping off.
Yeah, this is
Get over.
This is 100%
Incineroar.
my mistake. I should not have done
Is this
that. I'm
a
gonna
win?
lose a bunch of time. It's fine. 40 minutes is completely fine.
And you thought my hotfix runs were cringe.
No, this was just a mistake.
No, this is hype. What are you talking about? This is way more fun.
Hopefully I don't do that in the next fight. Don't worry. Like,
Oh, the story got
Maybe this is a
out,
therapy.
dude. It's gonna hyper
Yo,
beam.
it's the
Dude, something
adaptability
is
port
so
of Z.
dead.
Let's go.
Oh my
Hyper beam.
god.
Yes, dude. Yes. Yeah.
Let's go. Dude, we saw the hyper beam.
right, I'm just gonna take a drink of water.
You're
as
the
you guys
real
have fun with this fight.
MVP.
Yeah, go for it.
Woo!
All right, we
Dude, that
saw things
wheezing
that I'm
did
not supposed to
nothing.
see, but that's because I did an oopsie. Thanks, D-pad, for misinputting. I'd love to see that.
Yes. I love misinputting. I definitely didn't do that at all, ever.
Is this wheezing die? I hope it dies.
It's gonna. Hopefully, if this hyper beam hits, we should be fine. There we go.
It got chipped earlier.
Get up.
than it was.
Yes, let's go. PZ is actually just MVP.
All right.
Easy, pop it off.
Wait, did his grandpa and grandma literally have an Arbok and a Weezing?
The grandpa did. Yes.
Grandpa's both, yeah.
So the grandpa is literally just Team Rocket?
Yes.
Checks out.
He also kind of looks like James, so I didn't. So hopefully this doesn't make me go over.
Oh my god,
it. And
it's James'
I'm hoping
dad.
to
Wait,
have that time
is
go
it James'
below
dad?
11.
Does that mean Kieran is James' son?
Don't go there. You're just gonna.
I mean, he has the purple hair.
He does.
So now that we've done all that, it's supposed to just be low kick Mamoswine of an acrobatic squeezing, but I guess we're just going to see Hyper Beam Porygon Z pull in some work. Now it's time for the actual, like, I would say the more interesting true double. Because currently right now, you know, Kieran's grandparents are now possessed, and now we got a phone call that something's happening with Arvin and Penny, and we're gonna have to go back and investigate. So we'll see what happens.
So is this like happening fast? It's like all the townspeople just getting, you know, infected with the purple eye.
Yeah, so Penny and Arvin are here saying that, oh, they found like a drone or something being like, you know, whizzing around. And unfortunately, I did accidentally leave cutscenes turned off. So we are unfortunately skipping what I call really a funny cutscene where Penny and Arvin eat the mochi that this thing is going to summon. And Kieran gets hit on the head.
Deserved.
But there's no way they eat it. Did we just not warn them fast enough?
No, because they, it has like, it just shoots the mochi into their mouths, like almost immediately. We tried to warn them, but like, it's too late. But yeah, anyway, here's Petra.
I'm gonna watch that cutscene afterwards.
And here's gonna be and we're gonna have an interesting double, true double / multi-fight, depending on who you want, what kind of terminology you want to use.
It's only a multi-fight if you're attacking your partner.
True. Which I did. By accident. Anyway.
Yeah, you made that one double.
So, Arvin and Penny, they essentially have half of their team that they would normally be against them, so we just get like 7 versus 3, because Kieran has a full team of 6, and that's just how the game is supposed to be. For some reason, Penny decided only to bring half of her evolutions. Here, we're actually going to be a little bit passive, because we're actually going to use a guard spec, and if you know the Penny fight, you kind of have an understanding as to why.
Yeah.
But that's only one reason why we're using a guard spec. The second reason is after this Poliwrath knocks out this movement, which it should do with close combat. Okay, I guess I'm not going to have the normal fight today.
Or are you getting over the belly drum?
That might end up being good.
Okay, that's fine. As long as it doesn't knock it out, then I guess that's fine. That wasn't the idea.
Just can't do much.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. So I guess, what am I doing? I guess I'm acrobatics. I actually never been in this spot before. Okay, that works. So normally what normally happens is Poliwrath close combats the Greedent and then knocks it out, and then the Mabostic comes in. But I guess now this is going to be like this is actually completely new to me, so I'm going to have to adapt on the fly. Also, yes, super effective text, even in Mochi form.
It's kind of interesting that Kieran ditches the Politoad for a Poliwrath on his team now.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so he does that, but if you remember, he does have a Poliwrath when you fight in the Teal Mask. Also, the reason why we guard spec is actually to block Intimidate, not on our Flamigo, but on the Poliwrath, so it can do the damage.
Oh.
Anyway, I have
I mean, he did kind of maximize his attack, so...
Okay, good. We hit the 10 and 16 range. Actually, I should have...
Details.
I don't know what I was thinking, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
also,
matter.
They have
either way. One of them was going to probably kill you here, or kill the Poliwrath here. I think they've been down speed.
I should have went for the boss. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. If I'm not mistaken, Spirit Break, right? Okay, so I'm gonna have to take the rest of these. This fight went really off level, which is not ideal, but it's fine. Here, I will take the boss stiff, get rid of it. Thanks for the reflect. I don't need it, buddy. And we're just gonna have to take this fight. Man, these fights are not going the exact way that I planned them to do, but it's fine.
Could have also maybe acrobatics the Leafeon, so it was a 2v1 rather than a 2v2 for 2 turns.
Gosh, I love that you get super effective text for both sides of the fight.
This
is a weird
They both have to complain about it.
Yeah. Probably should have done that, but it's fine. Cloyster just also dies to low kick. I think. Maybe. I think so.
You guys just use the...
Yeah.
Okay, we're fine.
Yeah, we're fine now. It's like this Leafeon is not going to do much. And we've definitely lost a lot of time here, but you know what? It's content. It's fine. So, kind of how this fight was normally planned, because Belly Jump turn 1 is extremely rare, is the fact that turn 1 you would guard spec and then the Poliwrath Chaos Greedent. Turn 2 you would low kick Mabosstiff and the Poliwrath would have to hit a 15-16 on the Umbreon. And then turn 3 you hit an Acrobatics 10 and 16 range and Poliwrath would knock out the Cloyster. But I guess we're not having that fight today. And that is the finale of the True Doubles. So we have now two...
But Nemona's still running around, so do we save her at all, or she's safe?
What, Nemona? You're about to find out.
Okay.
You're also, if you are allergic to lag, I would suggest that you would look away for like a couple of seconds.
Nah.
Are we going to the lake? Are we going to the lake?
I want to see
No,
this.
we're not going to the lake, but trust me,
Oh my
this
god,
place
it's
lags.
bad? Okay.
No
I
way.
get hype every time I hear things like that.
So, run here, but Petulant decides to run here. If you want to know a little bit of lore, Petulant is going to... Petulant is essentially the Pokemon that caused our green friend to have a lot of misery during her time. So, time for us to have thing. And yes, just to do a little bit of a quick plug, this weekend, as well as the marathon that's happening this week, I'm also going to a marathon known as UKSG, which is the UK speedrunning gathering. So, and that I will be running Kid Icarus Uprising. So if you want to see that speedrun, go check it out on Sunday 9 a.m. BS British Summertime. Also, here's the lag.
Oh, they're all doing the dance.
Yeah.
So many.
So anytime the camera turns around this way,
can't handle that many sprites.
it's going to lag. But yeah. But, you know, if you
I
have
didn't
time,
know the
check it out. It'll
lore
be
of-
great. Anyway, here's what I like to call the second scariest fight in the game, which is Nemona. So Nemona is, if I can talk to her, is somewhat scary because she's actually like has the second highest level Pokemon in all of Pokemon. So in the red is 88, but she has a level 87 Pokemon.
Yep.
Which is kind of cool. And her entire team
wow.
is 86s. So
That's a nice little fun fact. Yeah, I didn't know about the Pekarunt lore because the Loyal 3, which has the scarf and the necklace, the toxic chains, comes from the Pekarunt.
Yeah.
That I didn't know about.
So turn 1, we're gonna actually X speed because depending on what Stone Edge does here, it does miss. So we get to go for something called the Risky Fire.
Ooh.
So we are gonna be using Super.
Organizer would love to hear that.
Well, let's go Risky Fight!
So the reason why this is the Risky Fight is first we have to use super effective text because we don't have an X attack. The second reason is that Milotic is a range and we have to close combat it. And if we don't, we get Ice Beamed, and if that Ice Beam crits, well, we're doing the whole fight again. So, you know, let's hope that we actually, hit the range. And there's
do
also something a little bit special that's going to happen at the very end of this fight. So, Keypad, could you remind me about something? After the thing.
About the Northern Lights?
First off,
Oh, you crit Nemona.
also, I love the fact that Nemona, because of her battle-like addiction, she just breaks through the Petra.
She broke out a little bit there, yeah. And then snapped right back
So
in.
here's the quick range. It's a 13 and 16 range. And it could be a bit scary. Thankfully, nothing has priority. And that's it. That's
Good.
the risk
Nice.
done. So now it's a free fight. So remind me, T-Pad, Meowscarada,
Yeah.
right? Also, before that, during the 5 minutes that
Yep.
she's here, she caught a Milotic and a Komoro.
Oh, yeah, that checks out. There's nothing unusual about that.
So, remind me, what is Meowscarada's Terra type?
Oh, yeah, it's always grass.
You sure about that? I'm just gonna, hit the local. Actually,
I mean, Terra Shards exist, so let's see what's up here.
Actually, I should have thought about it. I don't think it's gonna kill. Have I done Goof? I don't think I've done Goof.
Oh, now we have a Dark Terra.
Okay, I didn't done Goof, thank God.
Nice.
I forgot if it did or didn't.
But yeah, like, so all the starter Pokemon, no matter which one you give to Nimona, she'll always Terra. I mean, their Terra is just the basic. It's the Grass, Fire, or Water Terra.
Not this fight, it's not. They changed it.
Well, I mean, Terra Shards exist,
Yeah,
so
maybe
it is not illegal to change the Terra type or ability.
And now
It's not like Nessa's what is it? The Dreadnought, which is just like a completely different Dreadnought between her gym battle and then the rematch battle.
And now it's time for the best theme in the game. And I'm not lying when I say this is the best theme in the game. You thought the Loyal 3 was good? Listen to this. It is actually better.
Also, fun thing about that Nimona, you can't catch Melodic in this game. You can catch Feebas, but you can't evolve it, so...
The strat here is X attack and spam acrobatics twice and always heal if you get poisoned because it has a funny ability.
It confuses you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. And if you had Tangled Feet, it would be extra fun.
Are you kidding? That's my favorite ability.
It's so good. I put it in the chat.
I actually just loaded up the music in a VOD so I can hear it while you do this battle. This is a nice remix. I like this.
Full heal because we do not want to hit ourselves in confusion. We'll be poisoned. So it's kind of the cringe fight because it could just do Nasty Pot instead. And then now we just smash A to spam acrobatics. Hopefully we don't get poisoned. Or crit, that's also bad.
Yeah, crit with Nasty Plot, I fear could be bad. What level is this P.E.K.K.A run? Is it also 85?
Also GG. This Petra is level 88.
Oh, wow.
Tied with the highest level with Red's Pikachu.
If I remember correctly, and Shen could confirm me on this one, you know if you shake the Dynatree and then the Dynamax Greedent pops out of it?
Also,
I think that's a level 90 Greedent.
Yeah, there's higher level wild in the game. There's
also,
level 100 Magikarp in this game. Oh, do you have more fancy balls? Which ones do you have?
I didn't pick the optimal one, but I did Master Ball.
You know what? That checks out. Purple
Master
to
Ball
purple.
looks good. It was the best choice. You picked the right one out of what you had.
It was either Pokeball,
I'm so glad
Master Ball,
that you took a...
And yeah, that's the final fight. Not the final moment of the cut of the text boxes. Similar to the other single stories, we end it on the title card. Because this game does have a title card.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Like the single story. Because you get the cool Mochi Mayhem title card.
Yeah, it's actually interesting because it's like... Well, the first Mochi Mayhem actually like drips, which is really cool. But yeah, this is essentially... It's still a bit laggy here because... It's actually more the purple mist that lags.
So many
They
people.
looked like they were about to drop the sickest dance number.
They were just about to do Thriller.
Yeah, it really did, dude. I thought the music was gonna come back. Mirror B was gonna come out of nowhere.
Mirror B would be amazing.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But yes, this is... Also, yes, for some reason, anytime it fades to black, it just lags the game also. Just fun fact.
Oh, it's because it's trying
I just
to
know
make
where it's like where the game lags. I just have that implanted in my skull, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, when you enter Iono's gym and you just get like a 1.5-second lag spike. Yep, that's just one of those moments.
Did I crash? Did my game crash? Oh my god, I was so far on the run. Oh, we're good. When they like finally.
Yes. No, that's me when I finish the olive roll.
Yeah.
Because I think the game can still crash exiting the olive roll, and it's a huge black screen. I don't think I've ever had it crash out of the olive roll. I have had it crash going after defeating Tatsugiri. and just the game never recovers. And I want to put a hot button on my stream that just plays the Skyrim intro where it fades from black.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're finally awake.
Fun fact, that's actually a new edition of the bugs and glitches that happened, the Platinum softbox. That did not exist.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh.
Earlier versions. That is a new thing.
Patched
Well,
in,
there was
let's
always
go.
the exiting the poison-based 2.5 minute surprise load.
Yeah, that was also an extra edition, but thankfully that's patched out. You will never see that 2-minute load ever again.
Thank God. That one I don't miss.
And we run away, and
These
after
games
these
are so
dialogue
fun,
boxes,
man.
Mochi Mayhem is done in sub 11 hours, which is a very much good time.
Woohoo!
And technically, I'm the only person who's ever done a sub 11 run of this game. So if you want to be
This is
another person who
co-op
joins
as
the sub
well.
11
So this is because the
Yeah.
T-Pat as well.
Yes,
Sure,
I
you
finally
can't
get
win the
another
third
world
segment.
record. Let's go.
Unfortunately, it's not world record, my friend. That's a 10:47.
Ah.
No, but it's co-op.
Yeah, I'm only down, Shen. I'm only down to one world record, and it's brilliant. And it's Brilliant Diamond, and I don't know if that's the one record I still want to have.
Wait, which category?
Any percent glitchless.
Okay.
But yeah, other plot things. For some reason, this entire week, Nimona was just battling Kieran and Carmine the entire time restlessly because that's what she loves to do.
But man, I can't think of a better way to spend a Thursday than with all my friends for 11 hours on Hotfix.
I can tell you what could improve that night.
Some Northern Lights. Yeah,
Also,
baby. I literally just looked. It's going so crazy.
now.
I can't wait to go see it. It's almost, the Solar Storm's almost maxed out, by the way. GG.
And because we have, I think, just a tiny little bit of time, if I actually run there, maybe we can catch a little bit of a secret ending.
Oh, let's go.
So first off, let me actually, fly to the location of where the secret ending actually takes place, because that's kind of important. We do that. We go here, no here, thank you, and then head here. And there's only actually no, this doesn't have. I don't have the book. I can't show off the secret ending. That's my bad.
You hate to hear it.
Oh, you don't have the book on you?
No, I don't have the book on me, so I cannot show that secret
Oh,
ending.
that's
But
fine.
if you come here with Terrapagos and have a specific white book, you get yourself a secret ending. But sadly, I
Explore
forgot
that
to get the white books.
yourselves.
Actually,
That's
Did I
okay. Just
pick up
show
the
the,
white
just
book,
show
or did I
how much
actually
the
not pick up
leg
the white
lags. Oh,
no, I did not pick it up.
Oh, baby.
Oh yeah, I should probably
I don't like the
point
light
that way in
reflecting
case
off
someone
the
has
water.
photosensitivity issues. But yes,
Yeah.
that is the both Indigo Disk segment done by my friend T-Pat and the Mochi Mayhem segment done by me. If you have a free 11 hours, I highly recommend doing this speed run, but only if you have that.
he's
free
really
time.
talking to you, Shen. You definitely can do 11 hours.
Well, I mean, like, even if you don't have 11 hours, the beauty about, like, speedrunning is you don't have to do it in one segment. You
No,
can
you
do
don't.
an any percent run, and then the next day it's like, oh, I'll just do the 2 DLCs today, and then the next time it's like, all right, now I'll do Mochi Mayhem.
Right.
Yeah, which if you haven't gotten the bit already, chat, that is actually how I did my run earlier today. Was I did kind of like the first 3.5 hours on Monday on my stream. I did the next 3.5 hours on Wednesday, and then I literally finished it today on Hotfix. And I just want to say that Crisis and I have really championed the Indigo Disk as a single story, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're pretty loose about the rules. It's just start the run in the spot that the Indigo Disk starts. And it takes, for us, we both have like a 201 and a 202.
Yeah.
So it's like a 2-hour single story speed run, unofficial, but it's honestly like very, very fun. And I'm so glad that Crisis and I have kind of like championed just doing it anyways. Like, there's no leaderboard, but it doesn't mean you can't have fun like doing that speed
You know
run
what else could be interesting? Maybe you run it with just the Pokemon in the blueberry area.
in the terrarium.
Yeah, who knows?
That'd
Maybe
be pretty
there could
dope.
be some stuff to that. I might look into it. Give
Yeah.
you guys a bit of
So-
a challenge.
Don't want to hold GDQ for too long, so I want to thank T-Pat and Shenanigans for being here. I want to thank anyone who's in the UK awake at 3 in the morning because you guys are somehow here, and I'm great. Go watch T-Pat's run on Saturday. He's literally doing the Indigo Disk again. It's going to be a fun time. I'm also going to be there commentating, I believe, unless he's kicked me out. So I hope that's not happened.
No, you'll be there.
Also, Sunday,
Get your tech
I'm going to
checked
be at UKSG, which is another speedrunning marathon that's happening at the same time, raising money for a charity called Crisis. I know it's confusing. I will be running Kid Icarus Uprising there, so check it out at 9:15 BST. And I will leave you with Crystal Pool Rain Lag.
It's gonna take them 3 times as long to end our segment now. Like,
Yes,
we're gonna have
that's
to
exactly
sit here
the point.
awkwardly for like 3 times as long. The world
Alright.
is slowed down because of you.
Okay,
Alright.
we get to put it on
Take it away.
2.5 speed. Thank you both so much for the runs. Appreciate you all coming out here showcasing Indigo Disk. I've been looking to have speedruns of this since it came out. So I'm so glad that y'all were able to do the single stories and bring this on. Thank you both so much, and thank you, Shen, obviously, for commentating. Always a blast to have y'all on. With that said, we do have Passion Project coming up, so we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with that. See you in just a few minutes. And also, just as a reminder, As Seen on TV will return at the same time it normally comes on, Friday, 7 p.m. in 2 weeks.